I press go live. No, I don't want to go live.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. What are you thinking? No, stop, please. Don't hit the live. Oh, well, we're live. Hey, everybody.
Oh, man. What's up, dude?
Oh, you know.
Dog is awake and has joined us.
Woof.
Woof, woof.
Woof,
Except
woof.
for he does not woof, woof at all.
Bork, bork.
He does woof, woof sometimes, but he does not woof, woof very often.
It just sounds funny.
What am I doing? What am I doing with... Do not get excited about going outside. You're not going outside right now.
Woof, woof.
He's not a very vocal dog, is what I should say.
There you go.
I need to... Oh, that's you. I was like, oh, somebody commented.
It's a me, Mario.
He's just a me.
It's a me.
It's a me, a Mario. Okay, we're going to do that so there's no sound. I need to share the live. What up?
The sky. The ceiling. The lights. The cameras. The action.
Wow. Okay. Someone's loopy.
Someone's had a fun few days.
There you go.
It is. Friday was awful. I'm glad that's over with. Don't get migraines, y'all. It's a trap.
There you are.
Hello, I'm here. Right here. Oh,
and that one.
Show and tell. I got a Bluey cup.
You also have a Bluey poster that I have not sent you yet.
How dare you? I also, it's needing to be washed because I'm not going to use this for an actual cup. It's very flimsy. So I might use it for like desk stuff. But I thought it was cute.
It's cute. Very you.
Right. So it's just chilling. It'll probably eventually just hold like Lego pieces, probably.
Like half of the things you own. Isn't that just your room?
Honestly, yeah. There's like Lego just scattered everywhere. There's some behind me.
Lego.
There's some over here. There's several on my desk. It's fine. It's fine. You know? It'll get so much more spread out once I move. Whenever that happens.
I think it'll be by the time I visit.
We just need to get the gas line fixed and then everything will be fine. Because I just, like, the water shut off, but that's because the sink is spewing water everywhere, so I just need to get a new faucet. I have thought about that, Emperor. I have thought about that. But I don't like getting poked. So it's like a thought. And then I would want to go like somewhere where they understand what that is, because not a lot of places do, apparently. It's really weird. You have to go to like a tattoo piercing place, I think. And then I'd be like, ew, doodle something on my arm.
Does it actually work?
What?
That piercing?
So the issue and why I haven't is because it's a yes or no situation. It's one of those, it depends on the person. So it might help. It might not help. There's always a dirty joke somewhere in there.
There's always a dirty joke.
Sometimes you don't have to think hard about it. It's right there.
I am so low energy today, which is great.
I just really want to play the Fortnite Rock Band some more.
All right, end of stream. Just kidding.
Let's stream that, guys. We could chat while I rock band. Be amazed by my skill.
I mean, it is creative. Okay. So welcome to the stream, everyone. Ta-da! I am Britt. My hair is different than last time we saw each other. though my bangs are doing whatever they damn well please today. So if for those of you who don't know about my hair, about my head, it's curly as it comes out of my head and then straightens out as it goes further down. So whenever I have bangs, it just kind of does what it wants because I basically have curly bangs. So yeah. But hello, I am Britt. I am an indie author and an actor and a director. I do a lot of creative things because I'm just a creative person. And most recently, I released my debut novel, Deepwater. I write contemporary romance under my real name. Hey! I love that you just have that there. I mean, I have it right here in my boxes or in my box.
I had to unbury it because I put your book on like the bottom and then Melissa's book under like above that, and then I put all my library stuff on top of it, and I was like, no, I want her book available. That way when she says something, I could be like bah, 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 bah.
But yeah, and I also write sci-fi and attempting to write fantasy as of November. But I need to learn more about writing fantasy. So if you've not checked out my video regarding NaNoWriMo this year, do so, I guess. But yeah, we're going to talk about what we've been doing since then. But yeah, so that's me. I write contemporary romance under my real name and then young adult fiction, but specifically sci-fi and I guess fantasy as well. Unless somehow I decide that is just going to be a sci-fi as well. We'll see. I haven't decided. I mean, I can tell the same story, but anyway, that's me. And I'm going to write that under a different name. And I've said this in streams before, but essentially I want to make sure parents are aware of what's safe for kids to read, what's not safe for kids to read, since my contemporary romance books have spice in them.
Oh,
so very open door romance. I would love if you just like open my book randomly, like, oh, there's one.
I thought I did find one, but no.
And honestly, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it's been a work in progress since 2018. It was my 2018 NaNoWriMo project, and I did not finish it in 2018, but I did write all 50,000 words. I think I actually got to 60,000 over the course of that November. I was working part-time. I had a lot more time on my hands.
Oh, the choice of part-time.
And then I abandoned it for a couple of years and then finally started working on it again in 2021. Released it in November. And was it 2021? No, it was 2022. It was after Cosmo died. So 2022 is when I started working on it again. Spent all last year working on it. And there it is. So.
And now we'll do a 1-minute read of it. No.
They were in the pool. That's still pretty early on. But yeah, I won't spoil anything, I promise. So.
I haven't read it yet. I'm a very terrible. I haven't okay, so I finally actually read a book this year. Oh my goodness. I did not grab it with me because mom's kind of reading it, so it's in the other room. I got the sequel at the library, but I haven't continued reading it. I started and then I stopped. In typical fashion. But I will read it eventually.
Hooray!
Hooray!
But yeah, so Kay, your turn to introduce yourself as we do.
Hi, I'm a letter of the alphabet. How are you? I'm very tired, actually. So this is gonna be a fun stream. No, hi, I'm Kay. I'm currently writing many things and not the thing that I should be writing. It's mostly all fantasy space opera, so that's fun. At least it's kind of in the same genre.
Yes.
And some of the stories are in the same universe. But not all of them. It is a big universe. It's an actual universe. So it's an actual universe of a universe.
Yeah.
So technically, if I wanted any story that I'm currently side projecting could go in this universe and nobody could question me.
See, it's Kay's literary universe.
It's my literary universe. The chaos.
Way better than the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but
right. That's because there's more, you know. A little.
There's spice in it.
There's so much spice. It's like a ghost pepper if it had a level. Yeah. So after the attempt of NaNoWriMo, I haven't really like done too much writing except for like a redo of an old role play because why not? Why not? But no, life's been a little weird and crazy with migraines and work, so it's been fun. Everybody's catching the flu, and for a second yesterday, I was worried that I had caught it too, but thankfully we are good. So yay! It's just a really bad migraine. Because like usually they don't make me sick to my stomach, but that one did. So I was like, uh-oh. But no, it was just migraining. So that's fun.
Migraining.
How dare they, right? The
migraines
audacity.
Do what migraines do.
They need to stop doing and just not do.
I mean, ideally.
Amazing.
Yeah, I concur. I actually actively took December off because if you all remember, in October, I was adamantly trying to finish my first draft of this contemporary romance so that I could start fresh in November with NaNoWriMo. So I wrote basically nonstop all of October and all of November. And so by the time NaNoWriMo was over, I was so creatively burned out. I was like, you know what? I need a month to just enjoy life. Which December's been weird for me, but I'm okay. A lot of mental health stuff was going on this month, which also was a good thing that I decided to take some time off from writing. I've been dealing with a lot of mental health stuff. And my dog is driving me crazy, though he's actually doing really well right now. So nobody say anything, and he might not do something bad.
Anything.
He literally like fidgeted when you said that. He just repositioned as he's laying down on the bed. Well, my ring light just fell.
Breaking everything. Sup?
There he is. There's my dog.
It's the wolf.
My woof woof. Who doesn't woof woof very much? He's not vocal like Cosmo was.
And also, we have our third group member, Van Gogh.
Van Gogh!
Van Gogh is very festive today.
Yes. Welcome to the stream, Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. He is ready to be artistic and creative.
As a history for those who have not who don't understand why we say Van Gogh is because it doesn't matter. Like every single country has a different way of pronouncing Van Gogh's name. So in the United States, we say Van Gogh. And in the UK, they say it with a slight like ugh sound to his name. And so Kay and I just exasperate the sound because we think it's funny.
It is hilarious.
That's probably inappropriate and probably problematic, but I'm actually mostly making fun of how they said it in Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, I know about that episode.
I would say that is reboot. That is nowhere near where you are.
No. I just know about that episode because I think there were like clips floating around. I think around when it came out.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, so.
Yeah, I like that episode a lot.
It looks sweet.
As much as I despise Stephen Moffat, there are some good episodes in his time as showrunner.
Also, no, I do not follow the Goodreads awards.
I don't either. I really try to stay away from Goodreads as an author specifically because it's just a shit show. So I don't even know if I have any ratings on Goodreads. I stay away from Goodreads.
Ooh, I could go look.
I know of one rating so far on Amazon, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, I have a Goodreads account, but I don't remember what the login information is.
I go there every once in a while and I go, oh my God, I finished that book like 10 years ago. And then I'll finally edit it and be like, no, I finished it. No, it did not take me a million days to finish this book. I just don't come here.
I mean, realistically, it takes me a million years to finish a book.
Yeah.
It either I take years to read it or I read it in 2 days. There is no in between. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Like, after I finished the one book, Annihilation, I wanted to, like, add it to my, hey, I read this sort of thing, and I couldn't remember my login, so.
I just want to know what it is.
What's in your mouth?
That is not yours.
Is it ever?
Apollo had the pop filter from my Blue Yeti in his mouth.
He's trying to muffle the poof sounds.
I am a dog mom. Anybody ever been around like a parent where they're having a full-on conversation with you, but then they'll like discipline their child and just carry on like nothing ever changed and they fully heard everything? That is me as a dog mom.
It's so funny.
Do not do it again. I don't have to move it again.
Ooh, I should do that, Kitty. That sounds like a good idea. Actually, no. I would probably do a spreadsheet. It's all Britt's fault.
Because I love Excel?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a good your fault. Although it's Google spreadsheets because I don't have the Microsoft one because I am not paying for it.
Yeah, I think I need to update this computer. I don't know, because I just got a notification on this computer specifically that my 365 went bad. And I'm like, but...
Is it an actual notification or is it trying to be sneaky?
Probably trying to be sneaky. I don't know. My mom was scammed. So like we're very questioning. We question everything now.
Which, you know, you should anyway, because, like, they get really clever with some of the, like, phishing stuff and whatnot.
Uh-huh. Hence how my mom got scammed.
Yeah, I know. It's bad. It's so annoying, though, because then it's like, I don't want to open anything that I don't know.
Yeah, she was having, so if anybody wants to know, because honestly, I want to spread awareness of this because it's really kind of scary how this happened. So my mom was having trouble with her computer. And so she Googled the number for Geek Squad and clicked on a link, looked like Best Buy's website, full on Best Buy's website. Nope. Wasn't Best Buy, wasn't Geek Squad. And they stole money and everything from her. It's awful. They had to redo all of their bank accounts. So like their credit cards, they had to get all new credit cards. They had to get a new like checking account, everything just to play it safe. We've had to change so many passwords to ensure that nobody got in while they were in our system. Like it was bad. It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But like for real, it was Google, Geek Squad, and it wasn't Geek Squad.
That's just wild that happened. Like,
yeah.
How do you manage to get on the top thing on Google
and be a total freaking scam?
Yeah, like I don't.
That's why we both trusted it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bizarre. So bizarre. It's so freaking weird.
No bueno.
Yeah. So FYI, be very, 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 very careful when you're Googling numbers. Okay. This is where I take blame. Okay. This is where I come in and take my own personal blame. I know you have to set up an appointment for Geek Squad now. And the last time I needed Geek Squad, because this computer was giving me trouble, they didn't have me come into a store. They're like, let's just troubleshoot over the phone. And I'm guessing because this is a desktop, not exactly the easiest thing to cart into a store, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I said, why don't you call them first and see if there's any kind of troubleshooting that you can do? And then if you need to, you can bring it in and set up an appointment that way instead of having to go to the store, set an appointment, come home, and go back. Yeah.
And also, in fairness, if you Google something, usually the correct thing is the first thing. So, like,
usually, but clearly not that time.
I know sometimes, like, with the scammers, they like have a very, very, very similar URL. So that's like another thing you can look at. But like, if you just glance at it and everything looks right.
Promise she did it on her phone, so it's not exactly the easiest thing to see the URL.
Yeah, no, it's not.
You know, I mean, that's what's so funny is I get emails from Amazon all the time to the email that I have associated with my Amazon, but it's got like an accent over like the O of Amazon.
Or it's a 0 instead of an O or something.
0. Yeah. Something is slightly misspelled. And with my dyslexic brain, like that's terrifying because I have to look extra hard at stuff for me to know whether or not it's real because I'm dyslexic and my brain doesn't recognize letters the same way that other people's brains recognize letters.
Okay, kitty. Yeah, there's so many terrible people out there.
Ugh, it's bad.
Scammer-ammer.
So, but yeah, I ended up calling Best Buy corporate on my phone, like literally called Best Buy corporate. And I'm like, mind you, I don't live far from Best Buy corporate. Like I drive, that's the Best Buy I go to is the corporate store. Like I don't live too far from Best Buy corporate. It's not like I see it when I walk out my house or anything, but
there's a Best Buy.
It's in a different town, but anyway, I called Best Buy corporate and I was like, so is this normal for Geek Squad? And the guy just goes, I mean, you could hear the ellipses, ... No. And I was like, shit. It was bad. All right. Anyway, there's our first ADHD mode. Hooray.
ADHD mode activate.
My mother's scam situation that took place.
Raising awareness.
Raising awareness.
Also, fun fact, your book is fun to fidget with.
Why?
Like, you know the feeling of books when you flip the pages?
Yeah.
Your book has a very nice texture to flip pages too.
I think you have the Ingram Spark version.
No, I got the Amazon one.
I know, but Amazon, for some reason, was buying stuff from Ingram Spark.
Oh.
So,
well, in any case.
Do you see, like, this little bar? Yeah, see the Ingram Spark version.
It has nice feel. Good feel. Like it.
They've got thicker pages.
It's nice.
So I disallowed Amazon from buying from Ingram Spark so that they can sell the copies from that I have being printed for Amazon and not the Ingram Spark ones.
That's funny.
Okay, but you could. You've been in those conversations, right? Where like somebody pauses and it's such a pregnant pause. You can hear the ellipses. Like, come on. We've all done that conversation.
I've been the ellipses in the conversation. They'll say something and I'm just like
I do it a lot at work. I shouldn't say that. If anybody here who works for me is in this stream, I apologize. I'm probably not talking about you, though I probably am.
Can't prove anything. Right? It has such fun textures to play with.
It's like a weird, sexy, smooth texture. Oh my god.
ASMR,
y'all, I appreciate you appreciating my book. Thanks. Oh my god. Wow. It's been out for longer than a month. had we done our stream on the original day we were supposed to be doing our stream, which I think was the 9th,
Yeah.
it would have been closer to an actual month. Would have been a few days out. Now it's been 10 days out.
Woohoo.
But anyway, so yeah, so NaNoWriMo went well for me. I did manage to hit 50,000 words. I really, really had to bullshit my way to get to the 50,000 words. So the story is terrible. I mean, the story is fine. Like, the story itself is good. Problem is, what I should have understood about fantasy that does not exist with contemporary romance, because when you write contemporary romance, you're theoretically writing it within the, universe you currently live in, right?
Right.
So, like, you don't have to do much world building aside from just characterization, right? It's really the only world building you got to do. So I went into this. I mean, granted, I had come up with this concept a long time ago, but I was like in high school where I didn't understand world building at all, right? I didn't understand it at all. Like, you'd think I would, because I read a lot of fantasy, because, like, first book series I ever really loved was Narnia, which is absolutely fantasy, where they literally took people from our world into another world. And, I tried reading Lord of the Rings. I just couldn't get into them.
I have The Hobbit, and I have read up to the first few paragraphs.
I mean, tell me a book that you've gotten farther in, is my question.
The book that I finished.
Fair. You did finish a book recently.
I did.
Anyway, I went into it not realizing just how important that world building honestly was. I mean, I knew it was important, don't get me wrong, but I was like, okay, but like, I normally kind of bullshit my first draft anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do this the way I'm going to do it. And turns out, when you're writing fantasy, world building is really important before you start writing.
Yeah.
So basically, NaNoWriMo was me world building and just trying to just limp my way through a first draft. And so yeah, that's essentially where I was at with that. So it's not well written, but that's okay, because my first drafts never are. But like, it was a genuine struggle to get there, just because of the fact that, like, I don't know, like, I did not world build enough, and about halfway through I was like, oh, this is the lore, got it. So now I'm going to go back through and completely rewrite the first part of it, because now I've established this other lore, and I'm like, I like this lore, and this really builds something interesting into the characters. And so now I'm going to have to go back and rewrite that first half, essentially. But that's fine. I'm going to shelve that project for a little while, because I want to do some more world building with it, and really establish what this world looks like and what everything means, and all that stuff, and actually do things properly.
Woohoo.
But yeah, so NaNoWriMo was successful for me. I did manage 50,000 words. And yeah, so then I took a month off. I'm still taking a month off. I'll start writing again in January, just because, and matter of fact, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to write in January yet. That's one of the things I want to work out during this stream, hopefully. Write in January or edit in January. Do I finish The Man from the Stars first draft, or do I go back to the contemporary romance that I finished in October? It's up in the air, so we'll probably discuss it at some point in this stream. But that was NaNoWriMo for me, and I don't know when I'm going to go back to that story, because I'm feeling very not happy with it. But maybe one day I'll come back to that story.
One day, someday.
So, Kay, how did NaNoWriMo go for you?
Oh, I failed.
Okay, so you wrote about 40,000, right? Like, if you put all the stories together?
If you put all the stories together. Okay, so we started off with the idea, right? So we started off with the fantasy mystery, right? I got, what is it? 4,000, 5,000 words. I can't remember which number is what, but I think it was like 5,000 words. We were doing good. And then I hit a wall and I was like, something needs to change. And so I changed it. And then it doubled. We got up to like 10,000 in there. And then I got bored with it. So basically, a week into NaNoWriMo, I redid it. And then I just did not like it because the characters decided to go completely off the track that they were supposed to go. They were supposed so it's these adventurer guys, right? It's like a trio, and then they get hired by this person to go to the ruins to get this like thing that he's trying to find. They're supposed to get there, get the thing's supposed to stay, the guy's supposed to disappear, and then the mystery of what happened to the guy was supposed to happen. They didn't get to the ruins. The employer died, and they decided, well, we don't want to go to the ruins anyway because we don't care about this thing, so they left.
There you go.
So that just, I did like a sentence until the end of NaNoWriMo so I could just keep my streak going. And I was like, oh, I have a good idea. So I would like start a little project, and then I'd start another little project, and then I'd start another little project, and then it was not one thing. It was not one thing that got written in NaNoWriMo at all. It was how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, because one of them is the same-ish. Just I changed the character, so.
Yeah.
It did not.
Yeah.
It did not.
NaNoWriMo, or not NaNoWriMo, ADHD to the max for you. Like that was a very ADHD thing for you to be like, all right, I'm gonna do something. Oh, I'm gonna do this now. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna do this now.
Like the only amusing part is that maybe one or two, I don't remember anymore. There were so many things going on. I know one for sure goes with the Galaxia Morbidus series that I'm trying to do. So at least one was on topic-ish.
Yeah. So technically it is writing a novel. That is technically what NaNoWriMo is. Now, Camp NaNoWriMo can be whatever goal you want to set for yourself. So that theoretically, you can write multiple projects and only have the word count. Now, that is theoretically what NaNoWriMo is supposed to be, is writing a novel.
Mm-hmm.
And 50,000 is just the threshold you have to meet novel status. Prior to that, it's novella, and then prior to that, it's short story, right?
Yep.
So I think there's also something called a novelette, but I don't know where that technically fits, but I digress.
It's probably a baby novella.
Probably, like smaller than novella.
It's so cute. Hello.
But then one begs to, one can argue what is a novel, because, like, for example, exactly. Because, an anthology of short stories is, in fact, can be a novel, because it just depends on the word count, right? Yeah. So, which is why last time we met, I was kind of saying to Kay, well, you should still just count whatever you're writing, because to me, it's 50,000 words. Like, that's all that really matters to me, because full disclosure, I did start another project because I couldn't get to 50,000 words with the story that I was writing. So I did count another story that I started as part of that, because again, like, I wrote 50,000 words, right? I know people who just felt like they wanted to compile a bunch of their handwritten journals into a digital form and use that as NaNoWriMo, right? And I think my mentality comes from the fact that I took one of the creative writing classes that I took in college was quite literally this. The professor had us set up a blog. I wish I could remember the blog, because it would be really fun to share that publicly. But he had to set up a blog. I'm thinking either on Blogspot or LiveJournal, because I went to school in the mid-aughts. And mid to late aughts, because I left college in 2009. But he had to set up a blog, And basically all we did was we were to sit down and we were to write. And that's all we were supposed to do. Just sit down and write. And like, he was like, I don't care if you just write expletives. I don't care if you write the F word 600 times. Just get into this is a time for you to sit down and just write things. And that's also how I learned to just word vomit my first draft instead of like editing as I go, because I know if I edit as I go, it's never going to be perfect. I could still be editing Deepwater if I really wanted to be, right? Because it's never going to be perfect. There are things after I finished publishing it where I was like, I really wish I would have included this. Damn, I really wish I could have done that.
Just do an extended version.
I could. Yeah. But so like Deepwater will never be perfect to me, right? But at the end of the day, like, you just have to call it done. And so for me, that's why it's so easy for me to word vomit my first draft, because I know that I can fix all the issues later. Like, that's future Britt's problem. There's a reason why future Britt and past Britt cannot be friends. Past Britt leaves future Britt a lot of work to do. And not just in creative spaces, but also like taking the trash out.
Yeah.
Which I finally did yesterday.
Yay!
But yeah, I mean, for me, it's absolutely the word count. For me, it's absolutely, because again, what defines a novel? What defines a story? Aside from the word count defining the novel. Okay, well, this story that I rewrote from when I was 12 and tried to incorporate it into this story that I created when I was 17, right? I first, and Kay was part of this conversation, first thought of making that a short story. The original plan was to make it a short story, and I made it a novella. I'm not angry about it, right? I still did the thing that I wanted to do. I still achieved the goal that I wanted to make, which was take this really crappy, here's the beginning and here's the end, and nothing in the middle, one page handwritten thing I wrote when I was 12 years old, literally 12 years old, shortly after my 12th birthday, and create a whole story around it. I did that, right? Anyway, so yeah. Sorry, that was a weird soapbox.
You know what? It's a logical soapbox. Because that's what kept me like not being disappointed with myself during NaNoWriMo. Because it's like, you know what? I'm just writing. Writing is the goal. So
right. And like I kept telling myself too, as I was struggling to get through that story, is, even if I fail NaNoWriMo, it doesn't mean that I failed at being a writer or failed in general. It just means I didn't win NaNoWriMo, and it's not going to like make or break anything for me. If I would have failed NaNoWriMo, I would have just failed NaNoWriMo. Okay, at least I made progress. Progress is progress, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not a writer, but to me, it would just be about the total word count. I think NaNoWriMo as a creative output exercise. Wow, my dyslexia is bad today. I spend the morning reading. I mean, that's essentially what I was, trying to say as well. Is just it's absolutely just an exercise, and progress is progress. I'm not going to be mad about progress.
No, I was just a little sad that I didn't do 50,000. I thought I did, because like that one.
Thought you did too. I was really surprised we came back 10,000 or 9,000 short.
Yeah, I was like, isn't there another? Because like I was going off of like date modified and stuff because I couldn't remember what all I had done.
Yeah.
So I was looking, I was like, oh, I thought there was like one more. I guess not. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I would never.
I mean, I pretty much did it in October too.
That's true.
I didn't write 50,000 words in October, but I did. I basically wrote every day in October too.
Maybe 25,000 words, but I don't think 50,000. 50,000 would kill me if I tried to do that every month.
I mean, if I was a full-time creative, I could probably make that happen.
Oh yeah, because then you'd have the time.
Right. If I could devote, I mean, even not working on weekends, I could theoretically do it. Because I'd have to do the actual math on that, because doing it every single day, it's 1,667 words.
In a month?
Yeah, and so if you take away the weekends and just write weekdays, it probably only goes up to about 2,000, if that, a day. Sorry, if you can hear me fidgeting with something, I'm just fidgeting with a bunch of Post-its. This is fun. Well, yeah, that's 30 days. Take away the weekends.
What do we? Oh, that requires more math. No, thank you.
I know.
Let's see. 2, 4, 6. So 24.
Yeah, we'll go with 24. Okay, so a little over 2,000.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. You've done 40,000 plus more words of creative writing than most people who've ever lived have. So don't feel bad.
Honestly, yeah. I've only won NaNoWriMo once, and it was with the very first iteration of this space opera horror series. So,
yeah. And the first time I tried NaNoWriMo, I did not win. And matter of fact, fun fact, the first time I tried NaNoWriMo, I was writing the same story. Not this story that I wrote in NaNoWriMo, but I was writing the actual first book of the series that I came up with when I was 17. It was supposed to originally be an OEL manga. And then I was like, oh, wait, I can't draw.
I really, I was going to like learn how to doodle better because I think it'd be fun.
You're going to try to do what better?
Doodle. Draw.
Oh, doodle. Couldn't hear it because this was making too much noise in my ears.
How dare you? I can't find my other fidget thing. My fidget thing is
I have to fidget. Sometimes, because my therapist was like, I think you have ADHD. And I was like, no, I don't. I don't think I have ADHD. And then there are moments like this where I can't sit still and not fidget with something and pay attention to you at the same time. And so I have to like be fidgeting. And I'm like, oh, that's what she's talking about. Gotta fully understand now.
Right. Like I have to not hold a clicky pen in my hand when I'm not doing anything because I'll just click, 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 click.
So the actual lid that held this down broke off a couple months ago, but I used to play with that a lot. Like I would push it down and then release it, push it down, release it, push it down and release it. I was doing that off camera. Like it was just off camera and I was just doing it with one hand when I was in a therapy meeting with my therapist, and she's like, what is that clicking noise? It needs to stop now. And I'm like, no.
Busted.
I'm just fidgeting, sorry. She's like, oh God, I couldn't, because she goes, then my ADHD was like, what is that noise?
What is it?
Man, just people with ADHD hanging out. It's fine.
Just 2 rockets.
But yeah, so NaNoWriMo was a success. I mean, regardless of the way you look at it, we both succeeded in certain aspects.
We wrote words.
We wrote words. We made progress. You know, yes, I won. Well, I think that's something she would have to report. I think that's one of those things where she's like, I might need to report this. This goes above and beyond patient confidentiality. But yeah, so so I won NaNoWriMo. Great. I'm happy I won NaNoWriMo, but you made progress. And so in both aspects,
we win.
We succeeded. We were successful in aspects. So
victorious.
I want to see what my dog is doing. Where is my dog? Oh, there you are. Hi, there's my dog.
Hello. Woof woof.
Woof woof. Hello, woof woof. He's like, you stop petting me. Don't stop. You don't just stop petting me, Ma.
That's illegal. Didn't you know that? Like, once you start, you can't stop.
So yeah, so that's NaNoWriMo. So again, now next month, I'm not sure what I want to do because, like I said, I took this month off, just one, because I was so creatively burned out that the idea of writing. There were a couple of days that I was like, you know, it'd be kind of fun to write. But I actually got back into painting creatively in December. I painted one thing. I would show it to everybody, but I have to run upstairs and get it because it's in my parents' unit. because I want to put it up in my office, which is in my parents' unit, and I keep forgetting to bring it up there because my memory is atrocious. So, but it's just it's an orca because they're my favorite animal. Them and African elephants, specifically African bush elephants. If you want to get real specific on my favorite elephant. Though I probably could have, I mean, if you could have elephants as pets, I probably could have a forest elephant as a pet because they're probably small enough.
That would be fun.
Would they be considered livestock, you think? Because Bloomington just says yes.
I mean, it depends on their definition of livestock.
Actually, I think they fit under exotics, but okay. Yeah, maybe next stream I'll bring it down here and paint and have it and show you guys. But yeah, so I was trying to go with an impressionistic because my mom is a painter. Well, she hasn't painted in a really long time, but when she did paint, like I grew up seeing her paintings all the time because my grandma hung all of her paintings in her house. So like I grew up understanding that my mom was this incredible painter, and she's an incredible painter, incredible drawer. And my mom paints every once in a while with like acrylics and with watercolor and stuff, but she used to do oils and she used to do impressionism with oils. And so I have such an appreciation for impressionism because that's what my mom painted. So that's just the art that I always saw growing up was impressionism. And so even though like my favorite way the reason I paint is usually I used it as a way back when I was a teenager to express my feelings in a way that I couldn't express in other ways. So I got really into abstract art because that was a really easy way for me to express how I was feeling. And so I would do that a lot. And because of my mental health stuff going on this month, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try that again as like a whole ass adult and see if that still does the trick, like if that still helps. And so I spent a couple of days painting this orca that I was like, I really, really want to like try impressionism. So I showed it to my mom. My mom really liked it. She actually propped it up there. So I think she thinks she gets to keep it.
Oh no.
And I was like, does it look like impressionism to you? And she goes, no, it looks like realism. And I was like, I wanted to do impressionism. So I was really sad that she didn't think it was impressionistic enough. But yeah, I might have a picture of it on my phone.
You might, because you showed it to me.
I shared it with you guys.
Yeah.
All of you. So let me see if I can find the Pikachu on my phone.
Pikachu.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I heard. Ta-da.
Come on.
There you go. There you go. I think it looks cool.
That's my painting. I was going to add more to the floor, and that was supposed to originally be rock, but then it turned into seaweed.
I was about to be like paper. Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh. So I got into that. I want to do another one. I want to do another painting, but I want to also paint an elephant because elephants, but specifically an African bush elephant. Actually, I don't care. African bush elephants and African forest elephants look pretty much identical. They're just forest elephants are just smaller than bush elephants. Bush elephants are the big ones that most people know about. Mm. I just don't love Asian elephants as much. They aren't as majestic looking, in my opinion. So I mean, we should save all the elephants, and I definitely donate to save all the elephants. I don't just focus on African elephants. But when you're asking me what kind of elephant do you like, I will tell you an African bush elephant specifically. And it's funny because my mom got me last Christmas, got me Jungle Cruise, it looks like it's the Jungle Cruise poster from Disney, and but
cool.
it looks like one of the original ones that they just reprinted. And there's this big elephant on it, and she's like, "Is that an African elephant?" Yeah. And she's like, "Okay, good." She's like, "I was sitting there being like, I don't know if that's an African elephant or an Asian elephant." I'm like, "Mom, it's pretty clear the differences." And she's like, "No, it's not." I was like, maybe some people mess with elephants, I guess. I don't know.
That's funny.
Asian elephants have smaller ears and smaller tusks, and they have a weird shaped head.
Oh, okay. Suddenly have a random itch. Ah!
And so does my dog.
My favorite animal is a shark.
Yeah.
They're all squishy.
Your favorite animal, my favorite animal do not get along in the sea.
No, they don't.
They do not get along in the sea. Well, specifically sharks and dolphins do not get along well in the sea. Which, fun fact, if you didn't know, orcas are technically dolphins. Don't come at me. They are dolphins, not whales, which is why I do not call them a killer whale. Anyway. Yeah, no, sharks have generational trauma when it comes to dolphins, and they do not like dolphins.
No, they don't. When I found that out, I was like, "Aw, Britt and I are arch nemesis."
Arch nemesis.
Not again. There's a rogue hair. Where is it? So
you live near the Circus World Museum, and this was just the last year they had elephant.
Oh,
What kind of elephants? In the years past, though, you could drive up to the river along the edge of the circus grounds and watch them take the elephants for a bath from the side of the river. Love that. Oh my God.
I don't know what kind of elephants our zoo has. It's been forever since I've been.
Pretty sure the Como just has Asian elephants because I don't think they have African elephants there. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've been to Como.
Google.
Even longer since I've been to the Minnesota Zoo. So, because Como is a donation-only zoo, so you can go in and just donate whatever you want, which I like going to because they're. Well, I think both of our zoos are proper, are accredited zoos, so both of them are good.
They're Asian elephants. What about the other zoo?
I love my African elephants. A lot of zoos have Asian elephants because they're smaller.
Oh, the Dallas?
Huh?
The Dallas Zoo has African elephants. Do I need to put it on a list of things to do? You're gonna make me go to Dallas.
I will drive if you don't want to drive. I am happy to drive. Just we will just put on the GPS. I'm good.
No, it's more not trying to find my way there. I can find my way out of anything. But people are crazy in Dallas. So,
People are crazy here. Yeah. That's what I think I said that too, that they're less aggressive than African elephants. African elephants, when they go into mating season, I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but they have this actual condition that they go into where it's if you see them in this form, it's if you see them, you're about to die. There's no stopping them. You will die. Yeah, African elephants are not nice creatures.
Wild.
They are not nice creatures at all.
They don't have to be.
Yes, thank you. It's called musk. That's what it's called. I lost it in my head.
Musk.
Something like that, yeah. But yeah, it's wild. They're crazy. I mean, I wouldn't want to piss off my dog. My dog could still tear me limb for limb.
Don't make an animal angry.
Don't make me angry.
Why not?
Well, let's not name the convention, but I've been banned from a convention because they made me angry.
Oh, that's true.
Yep. Oh Lord.
No. I forgot what it was doing. I don't know why I'm so tired.
Literally banned. And it all started with me just tweeting constructive criticism to a convention I was at, and the convention that I worked with at the time decided to start attacking me on Twitter and attacking me on YouTube and on TikTok and personally. And so I started saying, hey, I'm being attacked. Next thing I know is I'm banned.
Good riddance to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. Yes.
Yep.
I'm not going to say which convention it was. Oh, look at this. My very first ever convention badge.
I mean, you didn't say it.
I promised to never speak their name ever again.
What? Nobody said a word. It's good.
It's fine. Hence the reason I'm free in April, okay?
Oh, I see how it is.
Actually, I think it's in late March this year. I don't know. I'd have to look at the actual dates. I don't care. I can't go.
I was about to say, we don't care. It could be Christmas time. We don't care.
Yeah. It's almost as funny as when PETA blocked me on Twitter.
That I think is hilarious. But PETA apparently blocks a lot of people. So, you know.
Yeah. I'm not special. Anytime you use logic against PETA. Because, like, here's a thing. I'm a wildlife conservational person. Like, most money I donate goes to wildlife and animal conservation. Like, full stop. That's my number one passion in life is nature and wildlife conservation. And problem with PETA is they are not. They're a political is what they are. They're not actually an animal rights activist group. They're a political lobbying group. And so a lot of what they say is they'll take like the slightest sliver of truth, and then they'll elaborate on that one tiny sliver of truth to make it sound like a bigger issue than what it actually exists. And so when you come at them, when people who actually educate themselves on animal rights and stuff come at them with logic and actual studies and all of that and like expert information, they're like, no, we don't want to see that, and they'll block. Yeah, so they block a lot of people. You speak ill of PETA and they will block you. So I know it's not special, but my favorite part of that story is I found out while I was at Disney World in 2020.
That is hilarious.
I was literally leaving lunch at Animal Kingdom. Like, couldn't have been better. I was at a literal zoo at Disney World, an accredited zoo. FYI, make sure any zoo you go to is accredited. But and Disney's Animal Kingdom is in fact an accredited zoo, so we're good. But I was literally at a zoo when I found out that PETA blocked me on Twitter.
It just makes it like 10 times better.
That's my favorite thing.
That's great.
Oh, 100%. They don't care. That's the problem. They don't care about helping the cause because again, they're a lobbying group. They're not an actual activist group. Oh man, you have no idea. Like, I have done deep dives. I have fallen down the rabbit hole because I educated myself. I've fallen down the rabbit hole of PETA. And yeah.
It's bad. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah. You can find quotes from their CEO, Ingrid Newkirk, You can find quotes from her about how she finds it pleasurable to kill animals. Yeah.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
And yeah, it's absolutely a grift for political lobbying more than anything. But yeah, absolutely.
No surprise.
Absolutely. Like those people who ask for money for veterans, and like 99% of the money getting raised goes right raising more money, not the people that need it. Yeah, there's a lot of like if you're going to donate money, there's a lot of things you need to do for research to make sure that where you're donating the money to, that they have a small administrative fee. So like a lot of where I donate to, I try to keep administrative fees to about 15% or less of the money that I'm donating goes to administrative fees. Everything else goes to the cause. But a lot of like Susan G. Komen is another really terrible place to donate to. Salvation Army, obviously,
Yeah.
but Salvation Army for a whole different reason. That kind of stuff. Same thing with the Red Cross. I will not donate money to the Red Cross. I will gladly donate blood to the Red Cross, but I will not donate money to the Red Cross. So, because again, most of their stuff goes to administrative fees, paying their higher ups actual money, which I get, like you need money to survive in this planet, but like
yeah,
I'm not going to donate to your cause.
Yeah.
I didn't only because I was a literal child in the 90s, so I really didn't have access to understand it. But I also was a very optimistic, like I was 13 when the 90s ended, right? So like I was very optimistic as well. Like I try to see the good in everything and everyone.
Yeah.
So when it came to PETA, I really wanted to believe in them, and it wasn't until I was working for PetSmart, which is a whole different conversation. Whole story time on my channel about that. It wasn't until I started working at PetSmart when I started to actually learn more about PETA, because there were a lot of people that taught me a lot of things. I listened and I started doing my own research. So over the last 13 years, I've learned about their nonsense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That's exactly how I feel too. I remember wanting to get into nonprofit work, and my father reminded me that you're not going to ever make enough money working nonprofits. I have friends that own a nonprofit, Storytime. That's the name of the nonprofit, Storytime. If you ever want to, I fully endorse. I do not work with them. I have no association with them at all, aside from the fact that my friends run it. But Storytime, based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, is one of those ones that's like, yeah, they literally don't take a paycheck. They put everything they can into the cause. So,
which is good.
Yes, they do. They target young people because young people don't educate themselves usually. I think Gen Z is definitely changing that.
Oh, yeah.
Gen Z definitely educates themselves. So I think that's going to be really interesting, because like in my generation, the millennial generation, we learned, obviously that like cigarette companies targeted teenagers, because if you don't start smoking by the time you're 18, you're probably never going to pick up a cigarette. Mm-hmm. Probably. That's not necessarily true. I dated a guy that didn't start smoking until college, but so that's not always true. But at the same time, if you don't start smoking by the time you're 18, you're probably not going to. And that was a huge movement in my teenage life, in my teenage existence, because I actually had a friend that worked with it was called Target Market. I don't know if it still exists, but it was a nonprofit called Target Market. I don't know if it's just Minnesota based either, but it's essentially based on, it's educating people on tobacco and how tobacco companies target literal children, and how gross that is. So
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny when you actually like educate yourself on things and how the world looks completely different after you educate yourself on things.
That happened to me recently, and it's like, oh, yeah.
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 Now it's like, oh, I am not in the Christmas spirit at all. What? That's wild.
Yikes. That's yikes. Granted, so my grandfather, my Polish grandpa, so my mom's dad, he was a smoker his whole life. He smoked my whole life. My grandma was a smoker too, but she quit when I was a kid. And it was funny because she made a deal with me. I was very young, but she made a deal with me because I also had a really bad habit, and I still do this from time to time. When I'm nervous, I will put my hair in my mouth. I don't know why. I just like the feeling of my hair in my mouth, and I'll move it through my mouth and whatnot. It's a really gross thing. It's really gross. It was kind of my substitute for sucking my thumb. I was not a thumb sucker, so I sucked on my hair instead. So my grandma made this deal with me that she would quit smoking if I quit chewing on my hair. Even into my adulthood, I'm not even joking. The May before my grandmother died, I put my hair in my mouth because I was nervous about something. And I put my hair in my mouth. She goes, "Do you want me to go buy cigarettes?" And I was like, "Grandma, you haven't smoked in 30 years." Anyway, so my grandfather was a smoker my whole life. He started smoking at 11. He smoked until basically the day he died. He had a heart attack when I was 13, 14, right around there. He had a heart attack, and he survived because he didn't die until 2007. And the doctors told him, your heart attack was caused by your smoking habit. You have to stop smoking. And my grandpa was like, all right, whatever. And so he quit smoking for like a week and then kept smoking after that. He smoked a lot less at that point. He was very good about just getting that oral fixation in and then, saving the rest of the cigarette for later. I don't know. He would just put it out, cut off the end, and put it back into his pocket. I don't know. My grandfather was a good guy.
Huh.
So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. Everywhere. Full circle to like the beginning of the stream. Yep. They lied for years about it not being addictive.
Yep.
And it's one of the most addictive substances we have.
It's great.
Which is so funny because people are so willing to speak ill of something that's not even actually technically physically addictive, calling it addictive, and it's not. And yet, I mean, I guess most people do know that smoking is bad for you, but I don't know, man. I see a lot of negative press about something that's not even addictive that people say is, but anyway, so yeah, there's our ADHD mode activated
Pot de.
because who needs to stay on topic? Not us.
No, never.
But besides the writer, everything is fair game, is what our actual document says.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's truth. It's facts. They be spitting.
Truth. It is accurate statements.
Many.
Yeah. Yeah. And study after study after study after study shows that weed is not addictive.
Huh.
Though they should have an age limit on it of about 25 because there are long-term effects if you use it prior to your prefrontal cortex being completed in its development, which happens about the age of 25.
I was like, what does that sound? Then I remember you're messing with your Post-its.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, messing with my
No, you're fine.
My favorite is when they responded to smoking, causing babies to be born underweight, and the smoking lobbyists responded saying, "I'm not kidding. Some women want smaller babies."
Ugh.
So let's just throw fat phobia into the mix. Lobbyists are a whole. So I have this friend that I worked with when I worked at Caribou Coffee, which is a Minnesota-based coffee chain, better than Starbucks because they don't burn their coffee, and they treat their employees well. And there's certain stances on certain wars across in other countries are different than Starbucks is. We'll just say that. In fact, the Caribou that I tend to go to, they used to for years. They recently took it down. I don't know why, but because I've never asked, they actually had also just hanging up in their drive-through a sign that says Black Lives Matter, which I was like, love that. It's in one of my vlogs from a million years ago because I was getting Caribou coffee that day. But anyway, so I was working with this girl at Caribou, and she was a poli-sci.
Oh no. Let me hello.
No, I hate Starbucks. They treat their employees like crap, and they burn their coffee. So no, I don't.
Costs too much. So like I'm good with the boycott.
Yeah.
I found a better mocha frappuccino I like anyway.
It affected my life zero, actually. Well, actually, that's not true. It does not affect my life zero because now Caribous here are a lot busier. So now if I go to a Caribou, now it's like going to a Starbucks.
Honestly, that's good. It's good.
Yeah, and to be fair, I can't have caffeine anyway. So like, what am I doing at a coffee shop anyway?
What are you doing over there?
And yeah,
chocolate.
I actually have an espresso machine with decaf espresso and stuff, and so I absolutely make my own stuff.
I'm too lazy to do that, so you know. And I also
Christmas is coming up. Oh Jesus.
What?
Christmas is coming. I don't know if you knew that. Next week. Stop it. Stop.
No.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Gross.
This girl that I worked with at Caribou Coffee, who was a poli-sci, she was a poli-sci major when she went to school. And I was like, what do you want to do in politics? And she's like, she's like, I want to become a lobbyist. And I was like, oh, you want to be a lobbyist? That's a weird life goal, but okay. She's like, yeah, I want to be a tobacco lobbyist. And I go, you don't even smoke. She's going, no, I hate cigarettes. I'm like, but you want to lobby for them? And she's like, yeah. And I was like,
why
would you lobby for tobacco? And she's like, because there's a lot of money in it. I swear to God.
Come hang out in my movie theater lobby.
So holiday plans, yeah, we're doing the same thing we always do. So I know a lot of families have started doing this too, but in Norwegian culture, you celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. So the fam is coming over. So it's gonna be me, my mom, my dad, my sister, and her family, hanging out on Christmas Eve. Our family identifies as a Christian, so we do tend to go to a Christmas Eve service generally. We might go to my church this year, since my parents don't belong to a church right now. So possibly the last few years since the pandemic, we've not gone to Christmas Eve service, so I have no idea. My sister also went to seminary, so a lot of times she'll run like a Christmas Eve service of sorts at her house. Because she's not ordained, but she did go to seminary. So yeah, and then so we celebrate Christmas Eve. We do I have to make my dessert. Okay, anyway, so we do,
make a note.
different dishes because we usually do a prime rib for dinner, but my brother-in-law cannot have beef. He can have other forms of red meat. He cannot have beef. He was one of those people that got bit by a mosquito that makes you allergic to beef. So, which I thought was really bizarre, but you know, it is what it is. And so we also usually have some form of white meat or just a meat that my brother-in-law can eat. So sometimes, like, I don't know what we're doing this year, but like one year we had lamb chops, another year we just did chicken, we did turkey. So yeah, and then I always make dessert. Every year I do something different. Last year I tried a Yule log, and I gotta say it was quite the success. This year I am gonna just create my own concoction. It's going to be a 3-layered cake, 2 layers of chocolate, 1 layer of white cake, and then I'm gonna make a cookies and cream frosting that's going to go in the center pieces and then all over the top of it. And then I got like even like cake decorating tools to like do like little flowerets along the side of the cake, along the like rim of the cake. And then I'm going to do little Oreos.
Oh, I want a slice of that.
Come over Christmas Eve. You are more than welcome.
You know I'll be working. That's my holiday plan.
At a movie theater working Christmas
on the holidays. What?
Yeah, so that, and then we open presents, and then we all go to bed because Santa Claus is coming to town, and then I wake up Christmas Day, and Santa still comes even though I'm 37. Santa still hops on by, and gives me a present because I'm still a child at heart.
You know what? Santa doesn't care how old you are. He just knows you deserve a present.
And last year, Santa got me a calendar that was sexy men with dogs. And so I'm very excited to see what he gets me this year. I know very well. But yeah, and then we kind of have a big breakfast with me and my mom and my dad, have like a nice big breakfast. And then I spend the rest of the day usually watching the community Christmas episodes and just lounging around the house. Because we don't do anything on Christmas Day. I actually, when I was a kid, forgot that Christmas Day is actually Christmas. When I was a kid, if you asked me what day is Christmas, I would say the 24th, not the 25th. Because again, in Norwegian culture, Christmas Eve is Christmas. So yeah, that's my holiday plans. How about you, Kay? What are you doing over the holiday?
Work.
So a lot of personal time then is what.
Oh yeah, you know it. No, because what's funny is because now I'm the salaried manager, so I have to like work the holidays and stuff. But next year we get compensated for that, so that's pretty cool. We get like a paid day, so that's nice. But yeah, so I talked to him. I was like, hey, can I work the evening shift so I can do Christmas stuff with my family in the opening time? And he's like, that works out great because I wanted to go to a dinner. I'm like, heck yeah.
Hey, that works. Are you working Christmas Eve and Christmas Day then?
Probably. Like Christmas Eve, we close early. So it's like the one day we close early.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
I will miss that special pay because like I don't get time and a half or anything. I don't get anything like super duper special, but meh.
And yes, that friend did choose evil.
All the evil. Oh, that's not too bad. 6 a.m. to 2:30. She is.
No, the reason why is because we were talking about my espresso machine, and I realized I don't have any milk chocolate chips to make my like either hot chocolate or decaf mocha that I want to make on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to enjoy. And I was like, oh crap, I have to go back to the store before Christmas. I have to anyway, because I still have to get bully sticks for mine and my sister's dogs for Christmas. I got their presents, but I didn't want to get bully sticks because I knew that if I did, Apollo would find them and eat them. So I'm going to tell pretty close to Christmas to get the bully sticks for them, but for them to enjoy while we're opening presents and eating and stuff. So, but yeah.
I have not wrapped presents yet.
I haven't either. They're literally sitting in a pile right over here.
Mine's like behind me. It's like
on this the way that it's framed right now, but anyway, pile. Let me see where else are we at. I'll be sending a self-addressed stamped envelope for a slice of thanks in advance. Perfect. Just tell me where to send it and I will send you a slice. I think it's going to be delicious.
It sounds delicious.
Oh my God. When I came up with this idea, I'm sure it exists somewhere in the ether. But when I was like, you know what sounds really good? And originally the white cake was going to be a lemon, but I realized not everybody likes lemon. I am the only person that's like, lemon? Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So my dream would be to do the same thing with lemon and chocolate layer cake, and then just do like a really rich, sweet chocolate frosting over that. I might make my own birthday cake this year or next year because I really want that.
It sounds good.
That sounds like the perfect dessert for me. And not a lot of people in my family like lemon. So I went with white cake.
Lame.
Maybe I'll do funfetti. We'll see.
I love funfetti.
That sounds like one of Rose Nyland's decadent Minnesota desserts. Yeah. It's so funny because whenever I watch Golden Girls, I laugh at Betty White so much in that show, not only just because Betty White is a queen and died way too soon in life, even though she was just 2 weeks out from turning 100. Still died way too soon. But at the same time, like, I know those people.
That's why anytime I'm on TikTok and I see like somebody from Minnesota doing something in Minnesota, I was like, sending that to Britt.
I know those people. I used to be very much like that when I lived in a much smaller town, but now obviously I live in the Twin Cities, which is not like your normal cities, like in other places, like major cities and other places. I fully understand that both Minneapolis and St. Paul are tiny compared to like your Dallas or your Miami or even your Chicago. Like it's they're tiny cities, but still a lot more diverse and a lot less like living in a vacuum kind of situation. And so my brain has certainly altered more away from that life. I need to do this, but I'm waiting for the last present to come in. I'm waiting for one of my niece's presents to come in. So
I might wrap presents tomorrow. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
I used to just throw everything in a bag.
So yes, always first world problems. But it was so funny because it's some first world problems, and I thought world, and then I saw and flat, and I was like, do not tell me you are a flat earther. That's immediately where my brain went when I saw those two comments. I was like, wait a second, for just a split second.
I think my favorite thing about flat earthers is the Earth is the only thing in the like solar system that is flat. It's like, where's the logic there? Like, why is the Earth the only flat disk? Why isn't everything else flat?
I don't know about you, but these papers are pretty flat.
Oh no. I was gonna make another joke, but I'm not gonna.
I figured that out. Oh my God, that's funny.
Flat is a pancake.
I love me some lemon. Like, find me a lemon dessert that I don't like. I dare you.
Okay.
Dare you to find me a lemon dessert.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
Let's just get a bunch of lemon desserts.
All right, so let's talk about next month.
It's January. Help. Send help.
Yes. Literally, you have January IDK because Big Boss is going to be gone for a while.
He's going on a cruise. So let me pull up my calendar.
Oh, really? Does he need any slight reading?
I don't think I'm going to get... Oh. I don't think I'm going to get into it.
So I'm going to read my book now.
It's upside down.
No.
And
it's
now
so funny. I saw the sound on TikTok that was like, here I am just working my life away. I wish I could just stop and go on a cruise. I was like, oh my God, I need to make this about my book. So I did.
It's funny. Let's see. Okay. So let's see. The 11th and the 12th, 13th, 14th, he's gone. And then the 18th to the 29th, he's gone. So maybe January 6th?
Sure. That's...
I don't... Lemon does rock. Lemon does rock. I want a lemon cake now. How dare you put that in my head?
That is so quick. How are we going to accomplish anything in 2 weeks? 2.5 weeks?
We just do.
I guess 3, 3 as of yesterday.
I mean, unless we do a Sunday, because like when he's gone, I have to work his shifts, which means I'm off on Sunday, so we can maybe do another Sunday.
We could do another Sunday.
So let's see. Literally almost any Sunday except for the 7th, probably.
I mean, 14th then?
14th would work.
All right. So let's aim for January 14th, 2024. Holy crap.
I was about to correct you and be like, it's 2025. And I was like, no, it's not.
Do not make it almost 20 years since I graduated high school. Thanks. You don't.
I just want to be
It's already
mean
almost
to you.
20 years. It's going to be 19 this year.
You're my nemesis. I have to be mean to you.
That's Zilla's job.
Yeah, but Zilla and I are becoming BFFs, so you know.
Zilla will be glad to hear it.
We're sending each other TikToks now.
Are you really?
He started it.
That's funny. That's
really hilarious.
Zilla doesn't even know you really. I mean, Zilla knows you through these, I think, more than anything. So Zilla's a real life friend of mine, and our whole shtick is we actually hate each other, which is really funny because there are people who don't know us but realize that we're close, and we've literally been asked, how long have you been married?
I think that's funny.
We bicker, and that's our whole shtick, is we bicker. And so people are like, so how long have you two been married? Whoa.
Oh, I hear that. What did you do?
It's going.
What did you
do? I
do?
don't know. The whole of America might be on fire. Who knows at this point?
Just casually.
I don't know. It goes towards the Mall of America a lot. And it's never on fire. It's probably just a cat stuck in a tree. That sounded like the ladder truck.
Hello?
Anyway, so goals for January 14th. I don't know, because I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. So like what makes best sense. See, the thing is, in my heart of hearts, I want to finish the first draft of The Man from the Stars. But the person in me that just really, really wants to finish this vlog, this video that I'm doing while I'm writing this book that I finished in October, I'm like, I really want to finish that. Like, I want that to be my priority. So I think at the end of the day, what I'm most inspired to write right now is to finish The Man from the Stars.
Go for it.
So I think what I want to do, I don't know if I'll finish it by then because it's going to be a pretty substantial book. But what I would like to have finished by the time we do our next stream is get to a point. So I want to go back at this point and reread what I started, because it's been long enough now. It's been a year since I've worked on it. I want to go back and reread some of that, but I also want to add different perspectives because I want it told from all the main character perspectives versus one or two. So I want to go back and add all these other perspectives to the book. And so that's what I think I want to have finished by the time we meet next month, is to have gone through, read what I've written already, adding the other perspectives of all the other main characters, and then obviously edit however I need to make the story flow better, having added those perspectives, and hopefully be at a point where I can just continue from there. I don't think I'll finish it by next month. I'd like to. That'd be great. That would be ideal.
Finish.
But I'm not starting until the 1st. So, if anything, I could theoretically hopefully finish by the end of the month. but even that, I'm not like putting a lot of like, I'm not too worried about that necessarily. So, but that'll be my goal, is I'll focus on, I'm going to make Man from the Stars the priority and try and get that finished up. So that'll be the first thing I would publish under my pen name. How about you, Kay? What is your goal for next month?
We do writing stuff.
I mean, can you be more specific?
No.
Because yes, that is the goal.
All right. Let's see. Realistically speaking, maybe I'll do the other thing that I was going to do, which is add in the thing that I figured out I wanted to add to book 1, volume 1, book 0, volume 1. I can't decide if I want it to be book 0 or book 1.
I wouldn't worry too much about that until
I know.
Yeah. Until you actually have to like make that decision, which would be a lot closer to like not first draft worries.
Oh yeah, no. I just want to figure that out. So we're going to keep calling it, I guess, book 0. So we are going to maybe secondary draft, because technically it has its first draft. I just want to fluff it up a bit because I didn't like how I ended it. So I want to like chop that off and then like add more to it. So we're going to tweak the first draft of book 0, volume 1.
I love how in our Word doc, the word goal behind your name, now it doesn't say it, was saying was incorrect. But behind my name, it wasn't. But yeah. Yeah. And then once you got to a certain point of your typing, then it went away. But I thought it was really funny. I was like, wait, no, they're the same word.
I also fluff it. Anyway, I want to maybe also do book 0, volume 2. So we'll see if we can manage that. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't even know what I'm doing at this point.
Yeah. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Hello? I am the winner. Which you don't like. You don't like the Hall of the Mountain King? That's what I was humming.
Yeah. I know.
You don't like it?
Anyway, so yeah, so that's this stream, man. This stream went all kinds of different places, from shitting on PETA, which I always love to do.
Your favorite pastime?
Oh God, my favorite pastime is shitting on PETA. Are you kidding me? It's my favorite pastime.
Now I've got the song stuck in my head.
Do you have any pets, Kay?
No, I don't. We were petless.
Used to have a snow bush.
Used to have a snow bush. We found out real quick that didn't last. No, okay, so the
you
snow
kept
bush,
it alive while you lived at the other house.
It liked the other house. It did not like this house, which makes sense because the other house has a lot more brightness to it. It gets a lot more sun because it faces a certain way, but you know.
Van Gogh is your pet.
Hey, Van Gogh.
As well as your dragon is your pet.
Van Gogh, you are my pet.
Van Gogh.
Hello, Van Gogh.
I also have no pets.
Liar, liar. Your pants are on fire.
I have no pets.
You have no pets?
Oh, there. I have no pets.
No pets. Zero Zilchanana. I am the one with all of the pets. See my pet dragon? Isn't he cool? His name is Cerulean. Things that you do to your head.
Oh. Hi.
Things that other people do to your head.
I don't have any pets. You don't exist. She said, I exist.
Hello, me? I exist.
Up. Oh, that's a big smile.
Britt is the pet. My favorite human.
Then you, Britt, are the pet. Come closer this way so they can see you on camera.
Look at that non-existent pet.
Oh, I love it.
Aww.
You may snuggle butt. You may snuggle butt. He said, yeah, but we're going to go outside. He's looking longingly at the outside right now.
He's like, please, mama. Please, mama. Please, mama.
Is there a story with all the stuffed doggies? Yes. So the dogs you see behind me are the Chance dolls that they sell every year at PetSmart. And the 2011, when I was working at PetSmart still, and I liked PetSmart. Well, actually, no. Okay. I want to be completely clear. I still like the company PetSmart. The company PetSmart, I have nothing wrong with the company of PetSmart. I have a problem with how I was treated by management at my store. So they started this drive back in 2011 with the Chance and Lucky Dolls, because if you don't know, PetSmart has its own nonprofit organization that I do not donate money to except for the Chance dolls because they have too high of an administrative fee that I just don't feel comfortable doing it. But the one thing I do every year is I get a Chance doll. And so Lucky is a cat, Chance is a dog. They have since added a whole bunch of other animals with names and everything. But I still, to this day, just get my annual Chance doll every year. And so I've collected the Chance doll every year since 2011. And they've changed the style. 2020 and 2021's dogs really are kind of ugly, and then last year's was really cheap looking. This year they redesigned it again and it's actually really cute, but my favorite style is still this like teddy bear style.
That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. How many is that? 13?
You're asking me to do math?
I counted on my fingers and I still couldn't do it.
You know, let's see. 2011 to 2023. 12?
Yeah, but you have to count the fact that I have a 2011 and a 2023, so I think it's 13.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Sure.
There's a reason why I use calculators.
Yeah. So they come out usually in October. So that's the only thing I do Christmas related before Thanksgiving is I go and I buy myself a Chance doll. They're actually dog toys, like they got squeakers and everything. But I use them. If anybody remembers Santa Bears, which I do have Santa Bears, they are packed away right now because I have one out. I have a Missy Bear or a Miss Bear. I think it's actually Miss Bear. But my grandma always called it Missy Bear because my sister's name is Melissa. We called her Missy when she was little. So I think it's actually just Miss Bear and not Missy Bear, but we always said Missy Bear. And also my grandma messed up words. My grandma's first language was not English. But I have a Miss Bear and she's out right now. But I have a bunch of Santa Bears that I've not put out because I just don't have the space for them. But that's kind of how I treat these. Is kind of like if you remember the annual Santa Bear back in the day. Anybody remember that? Or am I the only person that remembers it? Or was it just a Minnesota thing?
I don't where did you get them? Like
Dayton's. But Dayton's became Macy's.
Probably not. At least not that I can remember.
Yes, because the other woman that is biologically my grandmother was not emotionally my grandmother. So I do not call her grandma. If I say grandma, you can assume it's that story, yes.
We like the good grandma.
We like the Norwegian grandma.
Yes.
Not the other one.
No, we don't like her.
So.
No, I can't think of.
But yeah, so that's the story behind the dogs behind me. And I don't know where I'm going to put them next year because next year, hopefully, I'll actually be moving. I'll be moved. So I don't know where they're going to go.
You'll find a spot.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll also have space then to put out the Santa Bears. So
Just have a holiday shelf. For every holiday, it has new things on it.
I've often thought about doing that.
Were they just called Santa Bears?
I don't know if the ones I'm thinking about were tied to a certain story. They were not far. I'm literally just switching units with my parents. They're moving into this unit and I'm moving up into their unit. So I'm not moving far. But yeah, so they were a Dayton's thing back a million years ago. I don't know. Let me look it up.
I'm looking. The first thing, of course, is an eBay thing. And then the second thing is Minnesota Awesome.
They recently resold. They recently sold the original design of the Santa Bear 2022 last Christmas. They sold the original Santa Bear design again.
I mean, they're cute, but I don't remember these, so.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they were.
The only thing I could think of is Beanie Babies.
Maybe it was just a Minnesota thing. I don't know. I assumed it was everywhere.
That's
but
what you
living
get
in
for
Minnesota is like living in a vacuum. Sometimes you think that it's like I had no idea that Perkins wasn't everywhere. Because Perkins is just everywhere here. It's a diner.
Oh, okay.
It's a diner, a very famous diner in the state of Minnesota. And one day I was just like talking to a friend from out of state. I'm like, yeah, so we went to Perkins today for dinner. My roommate and I went to Perkins for dinner. My friend was like, where? I went,
who?
Perkins with the pie. And they're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay. And that's when I learned that Perkins isn't everywhere in the United States because it's everywhere here.
That's funny. It is kind of funny how like something could be everywhere in your state, but nowhere else.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Oh, also, when I'm in Texas, I need to try Whataburger because and In-N-Out because I've understood that. I've understood that you got to try that when you're in Texas.
Okay. So In-N-Out, I'm 100% behind, but I'm going to warn you: Whataburger is not the same Whataburger it used to be. So we will try it, but you will probably be disappointed.
Okay.
So, just fair warning.
Yeah, I have Culver's everywhere here too. But though I think people have heard of Culver's more than they've heard of things like Perkins.
I think we have a Culver's somewhere, probably in Dallas. Dallas gets everything.
Yeah, they're like everywhere in the Midwest. But like, okay, you don't have a Perkins. Where is the closest Perkins to you? Let's look it up.
I don't know.
Let's search Perkins.
Pronounce what?
Perkins.
How do you pronounce
Restaurant and bakery. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see.
Basically.
Location.
Like, I love Whataburger so much. I bought merch.
Oh, hey. They actually do go pretty far south.
I have a bottle of the spicy ketchup. Okay, the condiments are good. The spicy ketchup, they have not messed with that up. So, at least that's good.
They have Perkins in Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, or as a previous boss of mine said, Missouri, because apparently that's how you say it. Montana, Nebraska, New Jersey, but I don't even hear people from Missouri say Missouri. She's literally the only person who ever said Missouri to me. Anyway, Nebraska, New Jersey, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, not Iowa, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming.
Did you say Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay, so that'd probably be the closest one.
Yeah.
It's so far away. I am disappointed. Like, Whataburger was so good, and then they got bought, and now they're not as good. It makes me so mad.
I'm just a few miles. We talked about this at the beginning of the stream. I'm only just a few miles away from Best Buy corporate. Well, not the beginning of the stream. Whenever I was talking about my mom getting scammed.
It was somewhere near the beginning.
Yeah.
It was in the beginning half. It was in the first half. Yeah. They had you.
I'm like just a few miles away from Best Buy corporate.
Beep, bop, beep, Moo.
My dog has this really weird way of telling me when we're over at my computer here that he needs to go outside. And so he's been jumping at this window, which is his new way of telling me that he wants to go outside and go potty. But I wasn't listening. So he just did his last thing, which was he goes and stands in his crate and just stares at me. And I think the reason why he does that is because he always has to go potty one more time before he ever goes back into his crate. He's done that ever since he was a little puppy, right? And so it's almost like, I think it's his way of being like, one more time for bed. I want to go to bed. Take me potty. Like, it's really funny. So he just goes to his crate and just stands there and stares at me.
Just stares like, take me outside.
He also likes to, so I've got my wardrobe right here, and there's a mirror, a full body mirror in the wardrobe, and he likes to stand and look inside the mirror and stare at me from inside the mirror.
Oh no.
He'll look over and his reflection is just staring at me. I'm like, what the hell? And so then I'll do this, I'll like sneakily walk him to him, or I'll act scared, like, because dogs don't understand reflections. And so he's just staring at me, but not me. And so I'm like acting scared, like, oh my gosh, this thing sees me. And then he like looks back at me like, I'm just looking at you. I don't know.
That's funny.
Accurate statement. I know you really want to go outside. You can go outside in a few minutes. I promise. I don't think he has to even go potty. I think he just wants to go run around outside.
He just wants fun in the sun.
Makes him seem like he's a parcel. Yeah. What's funny is Cosmo was not crate trained and this dog is. And so that was really interesting life where Cosmo was like, I get free reign, can do whatever I want for the 8 months that he lived with Apollo. And, or not 8 months. It wasn't quite 8 months. Apollo was 8 months old when Cosmo died. And so Cosmo would just be walking around and Apollo would be like, I just want to walk around and be crazy. I can't. I'm stuck inside my crate.
I'm stuck.
And so yeah. I don't know. He likes his crate though. He likes going in it. He likes sleeping in it.
That's good at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think even if I were to leave the door open, I still think he'd probably, I mean, he might come up on the bed and cuddle with me at night if I gave him the opportunity. But I think he would still probably choose to sleep in his crate because that's just
what he knows.
That's a safe spot. You know, that's his room. So, but yeah. But yeah, so I'm excited to come to Texas.
I'm excited to have you here.
And see the solar eclipse. I think the last time I saw like a big solar eclipse, like actually got to see like a good portion of the eclipse, because last time we had like the major solar eclipse, like what's happening next year, come through the United States, it didn't touch Minnesota really at all. So we didn't get much of an eclipse here. But the last time we got one was like, I was like in second grade.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And where we actually like all went outside with like those protective glasses and got to watch the eclipse, and it actually got pretty dark. It wasn't a full eclipse here, so I don't know. The sun doesn't like to eclipse here. The sun's like, Minnesota, you need all the warmth you can get from me.
We don't eclipse.
So ever since the last one, I found out when the next one was going to be, and I was like, hey, Kay, do you want company in 2024? And we've been basically planning it since then. Well, maybe not Kay. I have been planning it since then.
I've been distracted with other things.
But I've been planning this trip for a very long time. And so I'm very excited. So. Does my cat ever mess with him when he's in his crate? No, she doesn't. She likes to mess with him in other ways though. But no, she tries to stay away from his crate when he's in it for some reason. I don't know. You'd think that she wouldn't. For the few days, literally days, that I did crate Cosmo. So with Cosmo, I got him right after I'd hurt my back again in martial arts and had to give up fighting again. And then I never went back after that retirement. That's when I officially retired from competitive fighting. I thought I could get back at some point, but then I kept hurting my back, and I was like, or let's not make my back that bad. So I officially retired back in 2008, and so when I got Cosmo, I just hurt my back. So we didn't get a big wire crate like I have for Apollo, like your normal dog crates that you see. It's not too messy over there, but you can see like the black metal crate that you would see it like, your average Petco or PetSmart or whatever. And so instead I got this nylon like travel crate kind of thing. It wasn't like the plastic ones, but it was like a nylon one. Well, Cosmo learned, because Cosmo was smart. Cosmo learned when he was just a little tiny puppy that he could walk around in it. So he would like jump up on the edge and plop it down and walk like he's in a gigantic die. He was ridiculously smart. And so one morning, or like in the middle of the night, I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to boom, 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 and I was like, what the heck? So I sat up in bed and my dog's crate was gone. My dog and his crate, not in my bedroom anymore. And I was like, what the hell? So I get up in search of my dog somewhere in my apartment. I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment at this point in my life. If you go back to my really early videos on YouTube, you'd see this apartment. And I didn't know where he was. I found him in the kitchen, which is why I was hearing a loud noise, because that was a linoleum floor. So it wasn't carpet in the rest of the apartment. So I heard the boop, and I took him out of that. And I brought the crate back into the bedroom and I plopped it down, plopped him down, and I closed my bedroom door. So I was like, I'll figure this out in the morning. Well, then he had managed to play around so much in that crate that he broke it. Not like he wasn't able to get out. Had I kept him in there any longer, he probably would have chewed out, because I did not get my damage deposit back from that apartment. We'll just say that. He did chew through the wall, or tried to chew through the wall in 3 different places in the bathroom.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, my dog Cosmo was an interesting puppy. Anyway, and so he broke it so that it didn't quite stand up, because it was a foldable one, right? So you could fold it up and it was easy to travel with when the dog wasn't in it. And so he managed to make it so it couldn't stand up straight anymore. And that's when I started locking him in the bathroom as my way of crate training, because I was like, if he pees in the middle of the night, at least he's peeing on tile and not on carpet, so it's a lot easier to clean. Yeah, and then he started chewing through the wall because he was trying to get to me because he wanted to sleep near me. But whole reason of me telling that story was because Corvette, my cat before Nova, she would mess with Cosmo in the crate. In the few days that he was in that crate, she would mess with them. And it was really funny. Like, she'd rub up against the front of it, and then he would like try to come up and sniff her or come and play with her, and then she would like attack him through the mesh. It was really funny. But yeah. So that's that story. So when I was gonna get Apollo, the very first thing I bought, wire crate. It's like, I'm not dealing with that again.
Yeah, I know.
This dog would have also been smart enough to do that too, because he's ridiculously smart, this dog. Cosmo was smart in a very different way. This dog is smarter than Cosmo in the resourceful way. So he probably would have chewed through the entire wall. He would have managed to make that a thing that happened.
I could see that, yeah.
This dog can destroy anything. But yeah. Anyway, so that's my fun Cosmo story. Now that I can actually talk about Cosmo and not cry.
Yay!
Almost 2 years, y'all.
That's wild.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Years.
It feels like it's only been 1 year.
I know.
That's
In
wild.
2021.
Well,
It's
time
weird.
after COVID just makes zero sense to me now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just all warped.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been that long since he's been out of my life.
It's yeah.
It's weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
Time is weird. It moves way too fast.
Right? Like it's almost Christmas, which means it's almost the end of the year, which means it's almost 2024, which means it's also almost 2025, and it's almost 2026, and it's almost.
You know what? Case, stop. Because 2025 is my 20-year, like, I don't know if we're going to do a reunion. We didn't do one at 10. Because Facebook, well, social media in general just made like reunions less important. But I'm guessing we'll actually probably do one at the 20th. Because
I would think so.
We didn't do one on our 10th, though. We talked about it, but then like half of my graduating class didn't understand what it was like to work in retail or food service. So they're like, we should do it at Christmas time so we have more of a chance of everybody being in town. And then me and everybody else that worked in either retail or food service were all like, that doesn't jive. No, we can't do that.
No.
And then they're like, well, if we can't do that, then there's no point in doing one. And the conversation just kind of ended with my graduating class. And I was like,
okay.
I don't even know why y'all pulled me into this. Y'all hated me in high school anyway. Like, why do you want me there? But okay.
Probably so they can rub in your face like what all they've done.
Oh, no, I've already recognized this. I have absolutely already recognized this.
I hate it so much. Like, I now have money to buy things, but now I have no time to do any of the things.
I know. I think back to like, okay, so even just in 2010, when I made a new video every single day, except for one, fun fact, I did not make a video one day, but I still posted one. It was pre-filmed from a few days beforehand, and I just couldn't be bothered to make a video that day. And so I just took a video that I took with my camera like a few days prior to that, and I posted that instead. Fun fact. Most of those videos are private now though. So that one actually might not be because that one's very Cosmo based. So I didn't really private much of those. A lot of those are private now. But I think back to that and I'm like, dude, I couldn't even imagine. I know I work full time and the whole point of that was I had left college. I hadn't graduated yet because I eventually went back in 2019. Graduated in 2019. But I had left college. I had moved here during the recession. And so like I didn't have a job because the job I had when I lived in St. Cloud was a mom and pop shop. So not one that I could transfer to a place down here in the Twin Cities. So I was like, by the way, St. Cloud is like an hour north of where I live right now. For those of you who don't know Minnesota geographical areas. Anyway, it's about an hour and a half north of where I am right now. Did you just? No, you did not. Okay, I thought you just took a chance, doll. Anyway, so I didn't have a job and I was bored out of my mind. I was doing auditions because I was like, well, if I'm not gonna have a job, may as well try and make theater work for me here in the Twin Cities. So I was applying to jobs and I was doing auditions and stuff for theaters here and whatnot and stuff. But for the most part, I was unemployed and doing nothing. I was bored as hell. And so I was like, I'm gonna vlog every single day in 2010. And I think about that now and think, God, I had the energy to film and edit and put up a video. And like I was starting to play around with different editing techniques at that point. I was starting to play around with music. I was starting to play around with stuff in 2010 and like the stuff that I still do to this day. And I'm like, no, I don't. I was thinking about like just doing an actual vlog today, you know, like just like a day in my life kind of vlog today. And I got up this morning, I was like, no energy for that.
Right. Like I think about it, and I was working at the movie theater. I was working that 1 to 10 or 1 to 9, whatever shift, like almost every day. And then I would do a video, the Midnight Mumbles. Yep. And then I would edit them and do this and do that.
Why
and then
it became Midnight Mumbles is because you just sat down at midnight
mumbling because I didn't want to wake anybody up.
Yeah.
It's like, it's wild because like, and then I was like doing all these collab channels, like heading those, and then I was making
so many videos a week.
So many. Like, how did I have the energy to do that? And then I made some of your intros there for a bit, and it's like, what?
You made intros for me, yep.
Like, where did that energy go? Where did that time go?
The other Dylan made some of mine too.
It's just wild. Because like,
I did. You're gonna throw up. Get off my bed if you're gonna throw up. Get off my bed if you're gonna throw up. Oof. Aki tummy.
Oh no.
I think that's a hairball. You okay? Are you okay? He's like, grabbing me by my collar was not the right thing to do, Mom. I know. I'm sorry, baby. I just did not want to have to clean my comforter today.
Yeah, I mean, I still work at the movie theater, so it's still good times. But now I have more responsibilities, and it's busier.
You okay, bud?
He good?
You okay, bud? He's looking at me like, hey, am I in trouble?
I saw that. He's like, oh, Mama. Oh.
Oh, I think Grandma and Grandpa are home. Do you want to go say hi to Grandma and Grandpa? Yeah, okay. Go ahead. That perked him right up.
That's funny.
I'll clean that up in a little bit. And, yeah, you're coming back down to sniff your fur. I think it was just a hairball.
Mm.
But what was I saying? Oh, because like in 2010, I was doing a video on my own channel every single day. Mm-hmm. I was also doing Mission Otaku videos at least once a week, sometimes 2 times a week, depending on who it was that had to make up the mission.
Yeah.
So every Monday, I did 7 Otakus on Thursdays, and I did Vlogs of 7, I think, on Wednesdays.
Vlogs of 7 was a little later.
Was that not 2010 that started?
I think it was a little later. Because I think...
Yeah. We at least still have those videos.
Yeah, because I'm still like the one in charge of it on like poor 7 Otakus, RIP. I wonder if it got struck down or a certain somebody like got rid of it.
I'm thinking a certain somebody got rid of it.
That's what I'm thinking, which makes me sad. But oh well.
Officially, the first video that went up on was September 20th of 2010.
Oh, okay.
Was the first video on 7 Otakus.
What was I on?
And it was you.
What was I on?
But yeah, so, and I think I did Wednesdays on that day. I don't remember.
I don't remember any.
Oh my God, I did so many freaking videos. I wonder if it says on here somewhere.
Becky.
Oh no, it's Tuesdays. Kay the Mondonian, Celestial Tuesday, Britt, because of Celestial being for Gundam 00. That just it just says David, which isn't her name anymore. Ka-chan the Thursday Changeling, Oki-chan Friday Humanoid Interface, Saturday There Is No Member, and Dylan the Whovian. Dylan must have gone through a serious Doctor Who obsession around that time.
I think he did.
Because why would he be known as the Whovian?
I think
hilarious.
It's funny. All
right, good night. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to probably end this here soon anyway. But anyway, so yeah.
It's funny.
By the end of 2010, which, mind you, I was employed by the end of 2010. I had a part-time job that I was working full-time hours for by the end of 2010 at PetSmart.
Wild. Like, how did I?
1, 2, 3, 4 videos a week. No, sorry, more than that. I was making 5, 6, 7, 8 videos a week.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Where did that energy go? Can I have it back, please? Because I kind of sort of want it.
I'm starting to fully understand the concept of that youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah.
Because damn, I would absolutely love that energy.
Right.
I would love to have that energy in my life.
I could so use it right now, but no.
Yeah. No. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I just, oh my God, you look like a baby.
Well, I mean, it was what?
Baby.
12 years?
We stopped, according to this, our latest was 11 years ago. We only did it for like 2 years.
It didn't last. We got burnt out, I think.
The last
trying to do all those videos.
I think that's around the time I stopped doing Mission Otaku too. I think that's around the time that I canceled Mission Otaku.
That may have been when I handed over 7 Otakus, but I don't remember. If there was one thing I wish I'd done differently, it was 7 Otakus.
Yeah, the last Mission Otaku video was March 23rd of 2012. So yeah, Mission Otaku only lasted 2 years too.
Yeah, I think it was like the height of the collab channels, and then they just slowly, and then we all just got burnt out probably doing all those videos.
Do you remember that one collaboration anime channel that was just like, that ended up being just a bunch of bullies on it? Do you remember Zero X Requiem? Was that what it was called?
Sounds familiar. Oh, I also was going to do like the plushies and review channel. I started so many collab channels.
Yeah.
I was upset. That was my hyperfixation.
Part-time with full-time hours means they don't have to offer you insurance and benefits. Gotta love it. Yep, that's exactly what they were doing. Except for PetSmart does offer, I don't know if they still do, but at the time they did offer part-time, and they did offer part-timers insurance, but the part-time insurance was basically just really expensive catastrophic insurance, which just wasn't worth my paycheck. So I just didn't have insurance until I had to because of ACA.
Yeah.
Which was so funny when the ACA went into effect. It was literally, I think, the year I turned 27. And I was like, of course, you elongate how long I can be on my parents' insurance.
The
year after I can no longer be on my parents' insurance, even with the ACA.
Typical.
Did you just eat your own throw up?
Of course he did.
My dog, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Oh, capitalism.
Bleh.
I was raised in a very capitalist family. So for a very long time, I defended capitalism. Very long time, I defended capitalism. I do not anymore.
Yeah, no.
Again, educated myself.
Out that door it went.
I don't know what I am right now where that's concerned. I don't believe in any of it.
It's all a bunch of like, there's always something wrong with something. So there's no like perfect.
No, there's no perfect political concept. So not perfect. So yeah, I don't know. I don't believe in any of it. I do want to eventually bring Mission Otaku back, but not as a collaboration. I mean, it would still technically be a collaboration, if you will, but it wouldn't be like a collaboration channel like it used to be.
Didn't I do a Pokemon one too?
Yes, Pokemon logs.
Oh my god!
I stumbled across that once.
Oh yeah, because like I wanted to, just for giggles, there was like a new Pokemon game coming out, and I thought it would have been hilarious to have done just a, oh my gosh, there's new Pokemon games coming out on that channel, just for giggles. But I couldn't find a login for it, so I couldn't do it.
I kind of want to try it and find the login for it and log in and remove my videos from that channel, because I realize now, like as a more adult, because again, like I was really young, I was in my early 20s. It was run by a 13-year-old, and I feel really weird about that now.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel really weird about that.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to be associated with that.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't like, nothing happened. So like,
no, we weren't even in connection with each other. It just so happens that he was starting this collaboration channel. He reached out and was like, do you want to, there's no like actual commitment to a day. You just make videos whenever you want to. And I think I made like one on that channel.
I don't even remember how many I made.
And stuff. And then like 1 or 2 on that channel or whatever. And like we weren't friends, we had no connection with each other. He was just like, I want to do this thing and you get a lot of views, and he was basically trying to, I think it was you two trying to get us to like you know, have a reason for his channel to have views or whatever.
Probably, yeah.
And then it died just as quickly. Like I think, like I said, I literally made like 1 or 2 videos on that channel. It was weird.
This is weird.
I feel really weird about that now. Like I should have felt weird about it in my 20s, but like I don't know, man.
I think it just wasn't like at the forefront of our brains then, because like it didn't click that it was like, oh yeah, you probably shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
It's like nothing happened. Like
no. It just still feels weird. Yeah. Yeah, capitalism is weird.
Down with capitalism.
I did rebrand Mission Otaku. I like what I made. But
I think my dad's washing dishes. I literally told him I would help him wash the dishes after I was done streaming. This man. How dare he?
Some of Mission Otaku videos actually had quite a few views.
Seven Otakus, I think, got quite a few views because that was like the height of anime videos coming up and then collaboration channels being up. So I think like the first few videos we did really well. But now we'll never know because it's gone. Just littles. I like going back and looking at stuff that I've done, so I'm a little sour that it's gone.
Yeah, but at least you still have Mission Otaku videos. I mean, you weren't on that channel as much, but
no, I think I was like
you were a sub on that channel.
Yeah.
Revisit Seven Otakus. We can't.
It's completely deleted.
Gone.
They're deleted, gone. I don't know if I saved any of them like on a hard drive or anything. Because
I'm sure I still have some.
I used to, but I don't know if I still do.
I know I have one, and that's because I re-uploaded it. It was still on my phone, and so I re-uploaded it because I made it on my iPhone back in the day, and I re-uploaded it to my like original vlogging channel, Life and Snippets. I uploaded it to there. But yeah, no, the Seven Otaku videos are gone. They've been deleted.
Yeah, because I was looking for it the other day. I don't remember now why. I think I was going down a nostalgia trip, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went through the stages of grief.
Well, and I remember when the new team took over, and you handed the channel over after all of us kind of left, and you were like, well, you guys want to do it, go for it. And they deleted all of our videos at that point. Like they rebranded and just like deleted all those videos. And then they did it for like another couple years.
Not even. I don't think it was that long.
And then they I do now. I absolutely do now.
I pick and choose, but I've become that person where it's like I don't want to delete anything.
I am such a digital hoarder. It's ridiculous.
Right.
You want to go outside? Okay.
This is true. Like it is our history, but still. I don't know. Maybe it's on like my old laptop because I still have that. It's still working. Last I checked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anything, it's probably on my the laptop that you and I both shared. Like it was like the same exact make and model.
I think that's funny.
The keys were even disappearing, like wearing off in the same way. It was like we had the same computer. It was weird.
It's funny.
If I could get that up and running again, I'd probably be able to find them. But I know I deleted some as I rendered them. I would like as I upload them, I would delete them because my laptop didn't have that kind of memory.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the little external one I had some of them in there. So I wonder if maybe, I don't know. I have no idea what I've saved.
Yeah, I have no idea. But the Mission Otaku videos are all still up, and Vlogs of 7. And then there was Something New Otaku was another one that I created.
Oh, yeah.
But again, that one wasn't like you have this day to make a video. It was just whenever you saw something cool and you want to talk about it, you would just do a review on Something New Otaku. I did have to figure out how to log into that recently-ish.
Oh.
Few years ago. Yeah, somebody emailed me and were like, hey, I used to make YouTube videos and I used to make YouTube videos on this channel. Can you delete it? Can you delete my videos? And I was like, maybe.
I will do my best.
So I figured out how to log into that channel and I deleted them. I think actually I privated them. I don't think I deleted them. just because I don't like deleting anything. I'm a digital hoarder.
Right.
Like, I have literally deleted just one video off of my channel and did that by accident, which is fine because it ended up actually being a really fat phobic video. So I'm actually okay with that not being on my channel anymore. But any video that used to exist that no longer exists is just privated. So.
Yeah, I privated a lot. Mostly the ones that I like use music I probably shouldn't have. So I was like, oh, put that on private. I don't want to delete it though.
Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays memory is very cheap. I have 2 external hard drives, one that's a 1 terabyte and one that's a 4 terabyte right now. The one that's a 1 terabyte is full. That was the first one I bought. And then I bought another one, I don't know, 6 months ago, I think. I don't know. And that one's a 4 terabyte. And now that's the one I put all of my videos on. But like any video that I've made over the last 5-6 years, they're all on those hard drives now. So
yeah, I need to get another one because mine are getting full, but you know, we not buying new stuff.
You can buy refurbished.
That's true. I might do that if I could find something that I need.
So, but yeah, that's why I'm glad I got a new external hard drive before I educated myself on the Congo.
Yep.
It's still a dirty piece of technology, but I mean, so is this.
So yeah, so is everything we have. Like literally my whole desk area is just bad.
Yeah.
But you know what? We won't buy new stuff. We learned, we live, we get better.
Yep. So, but yeah. Anyway, I suppose it's probably that time again. I have some stuff still to clean up.
I mean, he didn't eat it all?
No, he did, but there's still spots now.
Oh, yeah.
Of bile or stomach acid or whatever you call it, whatever it actually is. Spots now on my carpet that I need to get cleaned up before they stain. Wait, what? Not to start a whole thing, but Britt, can you catch me up on this thing with the Power Rangers and Amy Jo Johnson's project? Yeah, it's complicated. So essentially, the abridged version of it, I don't know, there's been a lot of drama in the Power Rangers / Sentai community lately. But this particular drama is Amy Jo Johnson wanted to be part of the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers, but she didn't want to do the show because she's in her 50s and just didn't want to be in spandex, knew she was going to have to be in spandex at some point, and that was her personal choice, and everybody's fine with that. She did provide the right to have one of her songs that she did do for Power Rangers and kept the rights for in the 30th anniversary special. So she, as a character, still sort of appeared just as a flashback. Anyway, I digress. But what she did end up doing was signing up with she ended up signing up with Boom Comics to help create a 30th anniversary comic, and then that went well, and then she ended up coming up with this idea of like an alternate universe where Kim and Tommy ended up together versus Kat and Tommy, where they had a daughter, where Kat and Tommy have a son. And so she created this whole concept. Apparently, back in the day, there's this production company called Bat and the Sun, where they worked with JDF on a lot of projects. One that's going to be released after his death. It still has not been released, but it's called Legend of the White Dragon, where it's kind of a very Power Rangers-esque kind of story. But it's not Power Rangers, but it's very Power Rangers-esque, I guess. And so they were really good friends with JDF. And I guess JDF had originally come up with this concept of him having a daughter, specifically so his daughter, Jenna, could play that role, was the idea. And I've known about that for years, and I've always been kind of frustrated with that because I'm like, I don't know, I just don't, if Jenna wants to be a Power Ranger, great, but they shouldn't make a part specifically for her. But if she wants to be a Power Ranger, great, but she should earn it the same way that everybody else does, not just because her dad was a Power Ranger. Anyway, so Bat and the Sun ended up going on this social media tirade about how Amy Jo Johnson was using her friendship with JDF to make herself more famous and trying to like monetize off of his death. And the Power Rangers community was basically like, yeah, but you're also doing that though.
Yeah.
Like you're also doing, so whether or not she's doing it, that's her personal business, but you're also doing it. So like, thank you. I couldn't think of the term. Nepotism. That's the term. I couldn't think of the term. I mean, nepotism exists and it is what it is, but I got a job through nepotism at one point in my life. So like, I get it, but actually I almost got a second job through nepotism as well, but I digress. I turned down that job. My dad was like, did you seriously just turn down a job that I like purposely like tried for you to get? And I was like, yes, I don't want to have to work 6 days a week. Yeah, there was certain weeks, like every other week I would have to work 6 days a week. I was like, that's not happening, Dad.
Pass.
But yeah, so that's like the abridged version of everything that's going down with that. Is essentially Amy Jo Johnson stole an idea from JDF and is now monetizing that after his death and not giving him credit. According to Bat in the Sun, according to Amy Jo Johnson, that is not the case, though certain things we have seen. There are elements of things that clearly she probably took from his initial idea because they were friends. So they've probably talked about it in the 30 years they've known each other, or at least the 20 some odd years that his daughter has been around on this planet. And he's been like, I want to make her a Power Ranger. So yeah, that's essentially the abridged version of what's happening. But I don't know. There's some new drama now, specifically with the Sentai stuff of like a new Sentai series is coming out, but things are being leaked and the people who are leaking it are like, I don't know, trying to, I don't even know.
So much.
My personal take on what's happening, she probably did take elements of his idea. Whether she did it, I don't think she did it with any sort of malice or any sort of like, I'm going to monetize off of my friend's death. I just think she thought some of the ideas were cool and probably took some of them. And if that's the case, she probably should be like, yeah, there are elements I took, but like, no, the story is my idea. I think she should be a little more transparent with that if that's the case. But I do think personally that she probably took elements of what he had talked about and utilized that to create what she's creating. That's my personal take on it. And if that's the case, I wish she would be a little more transparent about that, because it's a little questionable that she's not being transparent about it if that is the case at the end of the day.
Yeah,
that's my personal take on it. That's how I feel. But hello.
Did you have Friday off too?
Hold on.
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
yes.
Dang it. I thought I turned it off.
There you go. It's just me. Hello, everybody. I know nothing about the Power Rangers stuff, so, it's fine. Also, now you can see more of the surrounding area. Please ignore it. It's a mess. How's everybody? Ha 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 ha. I've been playing. I never thought I would ever say that I would be playing Fortnite, but I'm playing Fortnite because of the Rock Band stuff. So there's a reason why I'm playing Fortnite. But I'm like hooked on it, so that's fun. You got the beverage.
I got the beverage.
Have fun.
Oh, my mom's birthday is coming up, and so she wanted to ask me questions.
That makes sense.
My mom's birthday, she's a Christmas birthday. It's not on Christmas, but it's
by Christmas.
Pretty damn near close to Christmas. It's the 22nd.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah. Though, yeah, I've dated a guy that's his birthday is closer. And I also have a cousin whose kid was born at the day after Christmas. I don't know. Noreen was here for Christmas that year. That's my dad's mom. For anybody who doesn't know, Noreen was here for Christmas that year. It was also the year that Into the Woods came out on Christmas Day. And so my friend Kelly, who is like one of my favorite theater friends in my entire world, she's one of my best friends as well, but like she's one of my theater friends. And then our friend Judy, who's also into theater, she's also Jewish. And so she and her mom make it a point to go to a Christmas movie because they don't celebrate Christmas, they celebrate Hanukkah. So Kelly called me the night before, Christmas Eve, called me the night before and was like, hey, do you want to escape Noreen for a few hours tomorrow? And I was like, why? What you got? She's like, we're going to go see Into the Woods. I was like, my favorite Broadway musical, Into the Woods, and now a movie. Yes, please. Where Stephen Sondheim actually like approved all of the changes that were made. Did I like all the changes that were made? No, but Stephen Sondheim approved them all. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. And so, but yeah, it was really funny because I came back from the movie and my cousin was here with her husband and her two kids at the time, her two kids. And I was like, what's going on? And they're like, we're here to pick up, and she called her grandma. So quoting my cousin, we're here to pick up grandma. And I was like, why? She's supposed to leave tomorrow. And she's like, and she's like super pregnant time. She's like patting her belly. She's like, I might be having the baby right now. Super calm about it. She's like, I'm in labor. This cousin, like you have to know this cousin. This cousin does not get stressed about anything. Like this cousin is like, she's like, she doesn't yell. I've never seen her angry before in my entire life. I've never seen this cousin angry. She's hilariously just calm. And she's like, so I'm in labor. And so we're going to pick her up now because we're going to go to the hospital. I'm about to have the baby, pretty sure. Christmas baby. And I was like, okay, are you okay? She's like, it's painful, but I'm fine. And I was like, oh my God. She was born on the 26th. Her daughter was born on the 26th. So, yeah.
That is so
As
funny.
the Canadians say, Boxing Day, and the UK and Australia, New Zealand, basically every other English-speaking country that isn't the United States celebrates Boxing Day, but whatever.
Oh, you know, we got to be different.
We also still don't use the metric system.
We got to be different. Rebels till the very end.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm glad I was able to give you the summary of that drama. I haven't kept up to date with it lately, so I don't know much about what's happening recently, just because I got heavily involved with one of the Power Rangers dramas. The one I got involved in was where he was not JDF's. One of the convention agents that did house a lot of Power Rangers actors decided to, on the anniversary of JDF's death, decided it was a good idea to call him trash and say that he's a terrible person and all that stuff. And so I jumped on the bandwagon of trying to make sure all of his clients knew what he was saying. And a lot of his clients dropped.
Surprise, surprise.
Mm-hmm. He eventually issued an apology, but we're all pretty convinced it was like a chat GPT apology. It did not read like a human. So, yeah. You convention people. Oh my God, you have no idea.
Jeez,
What's
Britt.
funny is I know that guy because I have worked with him before as somebody who worked in guest relations. So he and I have actually we have not talked in many years, but we have actually like spoken, like not face to face, but we have spoken on the phone and stuff with each other back and forth. So I don't know if he remembers me, but
Who knows?
I don't know if he does remember me. I'm pretty sure he was not thrilled that I was starting to speak out about him. It's fine.
Fooey on him.
A lot of conventions also spoke out on it and said they will not invite anybody who is represented by him. And so since I'm guest relations head for another convention, that convention did not make a public statement, but I made enough of one for them. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, there's some other, like I said, there's some new drama that happened over the last few days now, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so emotionally spent. I can't get involved right now. Like, I can't even look into this. Luckily, it's Sentai, which, mind you, I like Sentai, but I've never been heavily involved in like the Togu or Sentai communities. So, but
I didn't even know there was drama going on. I've been more like the Kate Corain drama over on Book Talk and stuff.
Oh yeah, I just found out about that. I just found out about that today.
Yep.
I was like, whoa, I have not been around Book Talk lately, apparently.
It's wild because like I saw the tweets originally where I can't remember her name, but the author who like exposed everything had the receipts and stuff where she was like, look at that. What's my big passion? Lego. I don't know really. Like I enjoy a little bit of everything. So I'm not like super into any of the like if I find out about drama, it's because I'm just scrolling through TikTok or Twitter or X.
Wait,
So,
no, it's not X. Don't call it X. It's not X.
It's X.
If Elon Musk can dead name their kid, we can dead name Twitter.
It's Twitter. I think it's so stupid. X. Like,
it also got banned in countries because countries thought it was a porn website.
I mean, the icon makes it kind of look like one. Like on my bookmarks.
You cannot confirm nor deny that there is. I mean, remember Tumblr? There, you could find that on Tumblr. You can find it on Twitter.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would stumble upon it by accident. So like,
I have too.
Like,
but in fact, somebody that I worked with as a guest, his Twitter was recently hacked, and the person that hacked it has been posting a bunch of porn.
Oh, no.
So every once in a while, I'll be scrolling through and be like, "Hey, FYI, it's Greg. It's Greg Wiseman. Do not believe anything that he posts right now on Twitter."
That's a very good question. Do I have a BRITT'S Power Rangers type of thing?
Me, like Power Rangers? What?
Oh, right. I'm so silly. Of course not. I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, right now I'm obsessed with the Scarlet Witch, but I don't know anything outside of the MCU movies. So, like,
I'm hoping that this becomes a Doctor Who thing for you. Like, I hope you enter into the ever embodiment of Whovian that we all enter at some point.
Oh, you know I will.
I am waiting for your Whovian era, okay? I am waiting for your Whovian era.
It's coming. Star Wars. Star Wars used to be, but then I got mad at Disney, so it's not really as much. So
the only thing I like more than Power Rangers is Disney.
Well, you know what? Disney ruined and completely like okay. So yes, it's Star Wars.
Vindicated when they did that. Vindicated.
When Disney bought the Star Wars stuff, they had so much stuff to work with. They had so many books. They had so many comics. And what do? They make the sequel trilogy. They completely nixed everything. Now it's the legacy stuff. It's not canon. It's legacy. It's like, no, this should have stayed canon. And Disney ruined it. And I will never forgive them for it.
Okay, like, my perspective is completely different. I was thrilled that they did because I remember back when I would role play on Yahoo Chats, and I tried role playing with a bunch of Star Wars nerds. I found out don't role play with Star Wars nerds if you've not read what is it? It used to be called the Extended Universe.
The Extended Universe, yeah.
No, do not. Just because the cat gets you riled up does not mean you can start chewing at my comforter. Anyway. So the Extended Universe, if you had not read those, which I hadn't when I was in high school, I hadn't read those. Like, God forbid you do anything. So I created a character, a role-playing character in the Star Wars universe where I was Han Solo's kid, because I just wanted to be Han Solo's kid because I am in love with Harrison Ford, okay? I am still in love with Harrison Ford. Anyway, I digress.
Okay,
I
so
was bullied so bad.
that's a fan thing, because Star Wars fans are the worst.
Nobody hates Star Wars fans like Star Wars fans. Let me tell you.
I mean, yeah.
But like, God forbid I come in and I'm like, I'm Han Solo's kid, and they're like, no, you're not.
Like,
and I'm
oh,
like,
that's
and then
Jason
they started
and
like
Jada.
harassing me for it. Stupid.
Have they ever released in not special edition and issue formats?
No. The last release of the original trilogy without the special edition remake
VHS
was a VHS release. So no, they have not.
I think it's the THX version, which I do have.
Mm-hmm. I have it too. That's how I got into Star Wars. Was I thought it said I read Star. I was very young. I read Star and I didn't read the rest of it. And I was like, Dad, Mom loves this. It was Star Trek my mom loved, not Star Wars.
No.
Mom likes Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. Likes just fine. But I was so excited. I found her favorite thing in the entire world. No, what are you doing? I said, don't chew at my comforter. You've already put enough holes in it, dude. Come on. Get your shit together, Apollo. Anyway. And so we got it from my mom for Christmas because my dad's like, okay, I guess. And that's how I got into Star Wars. Was I was bored one day and I watched it.
That was funny. You know, my parents are super into Star Trek and Star Wars, so like, yeah.
But yeah, I go back and forth. I don't hate all of the edits. I do hate the edit where Han Solo doesn't shoot first.
That is stupid.
Because Han Solo absolutely shot first.
Yeah, like there are some edits where I'm like, okay, this is fine, whatever. It's stupid, but whatever.
Like adding a few things in the background, or extending the celebration to show Coruscant and doing all those different places. Like those are fine. Han Solo shooting first. I understand why they wanted to edit that because he's a hero, so he can't shoot first. I get it.
He's a scoundrel.
He's a scoundrel.
Like,
he was always set up to be an anti-hero.
Like, he's not gonna be a good guy. He just happens to be a good guy.
He just happens to help out Luke Skywalker. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
He befriends the hero. He's Vegeta. Am I wrong?
No. No, you're not wrong. Yeah, Star Wars would probably... I still want a really cool lightsaber. I keep eyeballing them. I think it'd be fun. But I also want like a sword, so I just want saber swords.
I have a lightsaber somewhere.
I want like the really cool expensive one.
Oh, I don't have one of those.
I want one so bad.
I want one so bad too. I rewatched it was as my yearly tradition of watching the current Big Brother season and being like, this sucks. And then rewatching what I loved growing up with Big Brother. When Howie in one season, I think it was season 6. It was there season 7. I can't remember, but pretty sure it was season 6. He played 2 summers in a row. They run together. But when he was HOH, one of his HOH gifts from production was a couple of those really expensive lightsabers, because that was back when the prequels were still coming out and being huge. And so he got one of those, like at Best Buy, I think they're like $200 or $300 or whatever.
Yep.
Actually, what I want to do, because my nephew did that at Disneyland when they went to Disneyland a while back. But I want to go back to either Disney World or Disneyland and actually make my lightsaber, because you can actually make a lightsaber at Disney.
That'd be cool.
My niece Avi made BB-8, so she's got a working BB-8.
That's cool. I like BB-8. I do like some aspects of the sequel trilogy, but which one was it? The one where it's just the chase scene and then they go like on this random thing to the casino place. That movie.
Yeah. All I know is much like when I was in the theaters Christmas Day watching Into the Woods and they were doing the song Agony. Oh my God, Agony is my favorite. I'm so sad. That's the one change I really am angry about with Act 2 of Into the Woods with the movie version is they don't do the second Agony because I can't spoil it. Anyway, but so there's a song that the princes sing called Agony. And the very first song of Agony is, so you've got Cinderella's prince who is chasing after Cinderella because they're going after the actual original story, which is a 3-night ball. And he pursues her each night and she escapes him each night until the final night where he spreads pitch on the stairs and that's how she loses her shoe. And then that's how he gets the shoe and tries to on all the maidens of the land. Anyway, so he's pursuing Cinderella each of these nights of this ball. And then you have Rapunzel's prince who obviously can't bring her with him because, you know, she's stuck in a tower. And so they sing a song about how their lives just suck because, you know, they're these princes who want something and they can't have what they want. Agony is my favorite song in Into the Woods. Anyway, much like that, what was I saying? Oh my God. Oh, I remember. So at one point during that song in the movie version, Chris Pine, who plays Cinderella's prince, just rips his shirt open. He's like, Agony, and rips his shirt open. And then Billy Magnussen, who plays Rapunzel's prince, is like, screw you. And he like undoes his shirt a little bit and he's like, I'm sexy too, kind of thing during the song. It's my favorite moment. We were in the theater and me and Kelly go, yeah! We got the whole theater to cheer and clap. Anyway, the moment where they kill what's the character's name?
I don't know.
He's played by the same guy who played Gollum. I don't know. They kill the guy. They kill the like big bad in this movie. And my mom and I just started cheering and got the entire audience to cheer in the theater.
That's great.
Proud of ourselves. Yeah. I highly recommend anybody who wants to just go search Agony Into the Woods, especially if it's the movie version, because the movie version is so extra. It's so extra because they're like on a waterfall looking over this like ravine and like Agony, and they play it up. They play it up. And usually I don't like overacting on film because overacting on film does not play well. But oh my God, for some reason for that song, it works because they are just the most ridiculous characters. When I went to go see Into the Woods in Nashville, log on my channel if you've not seen it. When I went to go see Into the Woods in Nashville, they had the princes be so freaking ridiculous. It was hilarious. Like they were so ridiculous, so extra, so over the top, but it works in theater to be over the top. But yeah. And then I saw it at the Guthrie a couple of weeks later here in Minneapolis. And I saw it at the Guthrie and they double cast the prince with Milky White, the cow. And so every once in a while, whenever they would like talk about the prince when Milky White was around, he'd be like, And what's really fun about that production, it was directed by the granddaughter or niece, something like that, of the person who wrote the book, wrote the actual like script for It's Cool. James Lapine. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, well, so this is about as good as if it was actually Stephen Sondheim or James Lapine.
Right? There you go.
So fun times.
Neato.
Probably my favorite production I've ever seen of Into the Woods is the one I saw at the Guthrie. And that's saying something considering I had just seen the Broadway tour. And because that's what I saw when I went to Nashville was the Broadway tour. And the one I saw at the Guthrie is my favorite production. So just saying.
No, I just had a realization. The other thing that's like you and Power Rangers, literally,
Bluey. Bluey's your thing.
Bluey's my thing. Bluey doesn't make
Bluey's
me
your
angry
thing.
like Star Wars does now.
I would say I still have this. It's right here.
Yay!
Oh, and you also get one of my bookmarks.
Yay! Neato.
Hi, dude. Yeah. It was so funny because like when I went up there and both of them asked me, they're like, "So are you Kay?" And I was like, "No, it's actually my friend that lives in Texas. They just couldn't come and see you, unfortunately." And both of them were like, "So the girl, the mom, she's like, well, tell Kay that whenever I'm in Texas, they better come and see me and tell me." Because she's like, she doesn't do many conventions. So she's like, so I'll probably remember the friend from Texas. So they need to come and tell me I'm the friend from Texas from when you were in Minnesota. And then the dad was like, I've been to Texas. I love Texas. And that's why he wrote, I love Texas, or I heart
You're
Texas.
so great.
Thing.
Oh my god, the knockoff thing is so stupid. It's so stupid.
Oh,
I forget what it's called.
the one that was created by Ben Shapiro or whatever.
It's so stupid. Like I saw a clip, I was like, this has no life. It's trying so hard to be Bluey and it's failing so hard.
Yeah, because right wingers don't like Disney because
Right?
Disney is woke.
What's funny is it's not even like Disney just like distributes it.
Right. It's not even a Disney
It's
production.
not even Disney. It's
An
Ludo.
Australian cartoon that they distribute to the United States.
Just streaming, because like you could buy the DVD set and it's not from Disney because it's unedited. I need to watch them, by the way. I haven't watched them yet.
Anyway, fun stories.
Big wild. Yeah, no, I thought it's bad. I saw a clip. It's bad.
I watched a whole video on like that whole streaming platform that was created by like Ben Shapiro and a few other people or whatever.
Yeah.
And they talked about the Bluey knockoff. The people that were actually doing the video, there were a few that they were like, honestly, there are some on here that are really good, and it's really unfortunate that's behind a paywall that like services the right wingers. Oh, is that why you mentioned it? Because of that? Yeah. I didn't see that comment come through. Yeah, it's oof.
Yeah.
It's oof. So my new Jeff and Jordan, which is my favorite showmance from Big Brother Past, my new Jeff and Jordan, who were on this most recent season of Big Brother. I'm sorry, I was just making sure he was not about to chew up my comforter again. It's not much of a comforter at this point. It is just there to be something on top of me because there is a big gaping hole. So it does not keep me warm. But I just don't want to get a new one because I just don't want him to destroy a brand new one.
Yeah.
Until I'm actually living in a place, like I said, when I move into my parents' unit and they move down here, where I can shut him out of my bedroom. And it won't be a problem anymore.
Yep.
Anyway, and this would not be in my bedroom. It would be in my creative room. I'm very excited.
I miss my creative room.
Anyway, but no, they were trending on Twitter just now, and I was like, oh my god, did they break up? Because I'm not gonna be okay if they break up. Because they met in the Big Brother house and they fell in love in the Big Brother house and they were super cute.
Aw.
And it was so funny because her name is the girl's name is America. And so Corey said in the house at one point, he goes, you could say I'm patriotic, but it's not the America you think I'm talking about.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my god.
It's funny.
No. There is a showmance actually that's two men, which I thought was really interesting because he went into the house. One of them went into the house thinking he was straight, found out he was bisexual in the house, and I love that for him.
Aww.
Yeah, he fell in love with the gay guy in the house, and then they actually like hooked up and stuff after the house and stuff, but they did not last.
Aw.
but I still have to pack up all of my belongings and move them. So it's still moving, because do you not understand how much I hate moving?
I don't think
hate it.
anybody likes moving. It's such a pain.
The one thing I like about the idea of moving is being able to do something brand new, you know, like kind of be in a new space with a new, like, everything here has been the same as it's been for many years, except for like I got a new bed frame and I got a new rug after Cosmo died, because I struggled so bad after Cosmo died. I was bedridden. If I wasn't working or filming a video, I was bedridden. So like most of those, like, clean up my house with me, you know, clean up my shit. Most of those videos that were filmed after Cosmo died was literally, I had basically just climbed out of bed, made the video, climbed back into bed until I had the energy to get back out of bed and edit them and then climb back into bed.
Yep.
Literally for 4 months, my life stopped for 4 solid months. And so my therapist was like, hey, you need to actually function still. And I was like, I don't know how. And so she's like, you need to start changing things up. And I'm like, I live in a studio, basically. Like, there's only so much you can do to change things up. So I got a new bed frame and I got a new rug. So the bed frame looks different enough to my old one. That's still the same headboard that I used to have. But the bed frame looks different enough where I actually have like an under the bed. And I changed my rug in my living room. And that was enough to help me function a little bit more. God, the beginning of 2022 was a weird time for me.
Yeah.
Anyway. So.
Oh, bye, Emperor.
Anyway, yeah, so it's probably time for us to probably end the stream anyway.
Yeah, probably. And I will work on the book. Don't worry.
Yes. And so thank you everybody for joining us. At this point, stay, you know, and you know, just keep looking for whenever I set up a stream for next time. But we should be streaming January 14th, which is a Sunday, just like today, 2024. So I'm gonna make the joke. See you all next year.
Ha 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 ha.
Bye.
Bye.